Oh, yes, that's delightful. I can feel it already. Thank you.
Yep, that'll help. I think it's close enough, huh? Alright, I'm gonna open the meeting. We will start.
Are we Psalms Cal tonight? Cause she was here and
I
forgot?
was not gonna be able to attend tonight.
Okay,
We're Cal less. Yeah, usually. But we're kind of free form, if you wanna roam around as you speak, we're okay with that.
Speaking days are long gone. I don't know if I'm supposed to introduce myself. Lieutenant Dupuy from Canterbury PD, standing in for the chief. So let's see, from July 19th to August 16th, we had 16 incidents, 2 arrests, 103 citations, and 465 calls for service. Let's see, we are hosting a cognitive interview and detecting deception in September. I didn't bring my glasses, sorry.
No worries.
detecting deception. That's a mouthful. Okay,
Cognitive interviewing and detecting
detecting deception. Got it.
We are hosting child sexual exploration.
We think they.
We think that's a typo.
Exploitation.
Yeah, it should be exploitation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you the investigations in November, and miscellaneous trainings are 36 hours. Let's see, our new officer got accepted to the academy. He'll be starting this month at the academy.
That's
Oh,
great.
great.
I know it was a little up in the air as to whether
Yep.
he was gonna make it in, so that's
He's got
good
up there
news.
for his test and
Very good.
got through, so.
Good.
How long is the academy?
14 weeks?
Oh,
really?
16 weeks? Can't remember.
14 or 16.
Yeah.
When I went,
Wow.
it was 14 weeks, and I went up to 16 weeks. Now it's at something different because it's all
Yeah.
daytime.
Yeah, exactly.
So I stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, wow.
Yeah, he'll be gone for a while. How's that?
yeah.
So that's a good long training. Good.
Yes. All right, and then we have our speed data analysis. I don't even know what we call this thing. The speed sensor was on Kimball Pond Road from June 29th to July 5th. Speed limit on that road is 40. Vehicles analyzed were 3,417. It says the enforcement rating is low. Total enforceable violations was 11. Enforceable violations was 0%. Average speed was 34% or 34 miles an hour, and the fastest was 68.
Well, you could see 68 on that as opposed to, what was it, 72 on Baptist
Yeah,
Hill one
17,
time? It's like, whoa.
Yep.
Alrighty, thank you. That's good.
July 11th to July 18th, it was on Shaker Road around the area of 611. Speed
Whoa.
limit there is 30 miles an hour. 5,908 vehicles went by. Total enforceable violations was 571. I don't understand this thing, but enforceable violations was 10%. Average speed is 35. Fastest speed was 81.
Wow.
That's crazy. So does this tip the scale for having an officer posted there for a certain time? What's our?
I would have to get with Jordan and find out what time that was,
Okay.
to see if it's something that's, I mean, it could be after our hours, but.
Not for the 81, but just for the fact that there's.
Right, yes, it certainly does, with that speed, it certainly does call for somebody
Okay,
putting a little bit of effort in there.
thank you.
Let's see,
Enforcement.
June 19th to July 19th, July 26th, it was on Northwest Road, Southwest Road. Speed limit was 40, 5,097 cars went by. 29 enforceable violations went by. That's a 1% enforceable violation. Average speed was 32, fastest speed was 64.
That's really interesting. I would have
Yep.
thought it would have been faster there than on.
Well, that'll slow down for the intersection.
Okay.
Yeah, come around the corner.
Or if you're coming off of Carter Hill, you can't really get going fast enough.
True.
Yeah, well,
And July 26th
some
to
people
August
manage.
3rd, it was on Kimball Pond Road. Speed limit's 40, 6,561 cars went by. Enforceable violations were 19. And the percentage of enforceable violations was 0. Average speed is 36. Fastest speed is 74.
And this is the same part of Kimball Pond that it was
Let me
in.
double check.
Looks
Yeah,
like it.
it does look like it.
Yeah.
So it's still low, even though if one faster speed,
Hmm.
okay. Wow,
August 3rd to August 10th, it was at 259 Old Tilton Road. Speed limit there is 30. 344 vehicles went by. Enforceable violations was 3. Percentage of enforceable violations was 1%. Average speed 23. Fastest was 68.
7 days, only 344 vehicles, that seems, huh. Alright. 68.
Always interesting.
Yeah, these things are fascinating, thank you. Wow. So we really look like we only have one place where we need to look extra carefully.
Have you guys noticed that since having this black box that you've had more, given out more tickets? Has there been an uptick in ticketing or stops since you have the data now?
I would have to run the stats to find out, but sorry, I work nights, so I don't
Yeah.
see anybody. But I would have to run the stats to see, but I mean, I know we're using these to locate where we're supposed to, where we need to be at certain times. So I hope that they are writing tickets, or at least enforcing the stuff. Yeah, Jordan's here.
Just in time.
Yep, just in the nick of time.
Alright, so with the highway safety grant that we've been doing, we did the equipment grant for it last year to get the speed tracker.
Yep.
It's in the process of getting the grant started already because we're in the fourth quarter, it doesn't run January to January. So with that, we were hoping to get a handheld LiDAR unit. So it'll still be under the same financial outlook as we had before, where we'll front the whole 100% for it, and then they'll refund us, or they'll give us back 75% for that. So we went and we got prices for 3 different ones. We really don't need to look at the most expensive one. It's the 2,900 one. Really, the only difference between that and the one that's 2,500 is you can drop it from really high up. We're not usually going really high to run radar.
You mean like if you're sitting in
Yeah.
a tree and you tend
Yeah.
to drop your.
We're not typically hiding in trees to try to
Okay.
get people speeding, so
Unless you wanna use a helicopter or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think Officer Plantier actually looked up the drop test that they quoted for the extra $400, and it's like 15 feet off the ground. We're probably not gonna be running radar from 15 feet off the ground, so I figured we could easily rule that one out. However, the one that we were looking at is going to be the next one down for the 2,500. We feel that would probably suit our needs the best.
And the purpose of this is as a backup to where you're placing the cars for what the speed data shows, where you need something, or what is the purpose for this?
So yes and no, it's kind of a backup, but it's primarily to help us. It's an enhancement tool. So if we're running radar somewhere like 106 is a busy area. If we're running radar on 93, obviously a busy area. The way our radars work right now is it just shoots out a cone and it tells us one of these vehicles in front of you is driving this fast. And then you kind of have to guess which one the fast one is.
Oh.
Right. So if we get the handheld radar, I mean, there's ways that we're able to determine it, by looking at it. We can pretty easily narrow it down. But if we're out there and it's a busy weekend like race weekend where it's bringing in all this traffic, it's going to be hard for us to pinpoint which vehicle. With the LiDAR, the handheld LiDAR, we can point it straight at the vehicle in question and it'll only give us that speed. So it's going to help us to get just that much more traffic enforcement.
Kind of a laser thing.
And by the time you actually figure out which car is speeding and point the device at it and get its speed and the car is like way down the road, how do you actually do anything about that?
So the way it's done is what we do is we wouldn't just wait until we see somebody speeding. If we're out there running radar, usually we're watching all the cars anyway. So what we do is we'd sit out there. I don't know if you've ever seen state police sit there on 93.
Mhm.
They're outside their car with what looks like a big black gun.
Right,
but
right.
Big black gun is the LiDAR, so we'd be sitting out there and we'd just be constantly observing traffic through it and just, I don't wanna say shooting each car, but. I mean,
Registering, how about that?
registering
Registering
each
each
car.
car.
I like that, we'd be registering each car as they come. And
Okay,
that would be able to, that would afford us a lot more opportunity to narrow it down. For example, the other Saturday night, Officer Plantier and I were on I-93, we were trying to get him a little experience with the DUI. And there were a lot of cars out Saturday night doing 85, 90, 95, so when they're doing that, it can be very difficult to say, all right, you're doing 90, but you're the one doing 95. Whereas if we had this, the LiDAR, we could very easily say, you're the one.
okay. And this is a laywoman's question, but once you've determined that that car is the one.
Yep.
How do you get them?
The same way we would if we were using our radar. We turn on our lights and we pull them right
And
over.
and you go for them, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so it is a radar, it's just handheld instead of, in our cars, we have cones. So we have one little box that sits up on our center console.
right,
And we have a cone that goes up front, points forward, and a cone out back that points back, and that's how we run it when we're either parked or we're driving,
okay. Thank you,
of course.
okay.
So it looks like we need one unit,
Yes,
2546 is the one that you have in mind, right?
it is.
Anything else we would need to purchase?
This year, I think we're trying to stay small with it. We're not really in desperate need of anything. The town does a really good job at taking care of us. And with that, we don't wanna become just greedy and just assume the town will give us what we want, so.
Yeah.
This
And
is,
Oh, I'm sorry, continue.
so we figured with this, I mean, it'd be nice to have more, but really there's only one person patrolling at a time. So we could very, very easily get by with just the one.
Okay.
And how much of this did you say is, we're going to be rebated or,
75% of it.
okay, thank you.
So I'll ask you the same question. Have you guys seen you have more traffic enforcement now that you have the black box?
We have. We've been able to rule out certain roads and we've been able to actually go and substantiate some people's claims.
So
We
there has
have
been
had-
upticks in enforcement then?
I'm just doing the
Right, yeah.
math.
So they're actually
Just
working.
Right, yeah, so
Okay.
we were getting a lot of complaints. I don't wanna narrow out a single area, so we've been getting complaints all over town.
636.
And
Back.
there were some places where we went out
Well,
and
that's what it would cost us.
the complaints were
Oh,
just not there.
Nice,
Out here on 132, I mean, it's 132, so we get complaints out there all the time, but we've received complaints about specific areas. And we put the black cat out there and it was very, very unsubstantiated,
Yeah.
so then we can
Yeah.
change to different parts of 132 where we've gotten complaints and we can actually focus more on those where it is proven to be more of a trouble issue.
Yeah.
And we've also been able to use that to start looking at places such as Shaker Road.
Yeah.
Which has actually led to multiple arrests, so.
and it'll be interesting to see how that changes when school is in session and the high schoolers are peeling off and coming home.
It will be very interesting to see how it goes out. I know we've used it on Kimball Pond Road a couple of times. We did it once before school got out, we did
Yeah.
it once on the holiday weekend for the 4th. And then we went out a couple weeks after, just to kind of see what it's like out there. We've done it a couple spots on 132 the other day, just to see what would happen, just why not kind of thing. We put it up on Old Tilton Road and we were extremely shocked at one of the
So were
speeds
we.
out there, so.
Yeah, surprise.
Yep. No shocking. Ken, am I correct? The cost of the town then would be 500,
636.
or 636.50?
That's a good thing to have,
Yeah.
at the end of this, great.
And we talked about taking the info tonight or, okay.
So you guys,
Yeah.
can decide tonight, Jordan's here, he's explaining
Yeah,
it to
okay.
you. You guys decide tonight, there'll be some paperwork that goes along with it,
Yep.
for the grant stuff that you'll end up signing, but, wanted to get the go ahead before, we did all that.
Okay. Do we need a motion?
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion then that we purchased the LiDAR XLRC for a cost of 2546. With 75% reimbursement through our grant.
I would agree with that, I will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Alright.
I guess the only discussion would be thanks for finding the grant, because that is great.
Yeah.
Whoever
Thanks for
did.
letting me come
Helps
talk
us.
about it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right,
alright, thank you all.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, guys.
Unrelated, we took care of that other thing.
Alright, Chief Gabash, I know you've got Con Ed coming up, so.
Serious, how about that?
Yeah,
Serious,
well-
serious is a better word.
He's on probation.
I know, but still,
It's a scary time.
yeah,
You don't know yet who's who, so until you learn the players.
just keep
Hey,
your
thanks
face.
for saving me from those turkeys in Dumbarton this morning.
Turkeys and Dunbar?
Yeah, you flashed your
Oh,
lights
was
and
that,
they were
was that
across the
story
road.
all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was part of your job description.
Apparently it is now.
All right, good afternoon, 200 and, I just finished one, 214 calls year to date, emergency calls, noteworthy incidents in the last month. We were at the Loudon Fire last night, we set the tanker over there for water supply, work a water shuttle. So this happened previous to it, in there, you know, within the last meeting cycle, but I wasn't here last meeting, so I wanna touch on the drowning we had at Hammerveston. We had a great response. It's due to its location, we had 5 different agencies working together, Canterbury Fire, Police, Pennacook Rescue, Concord Fire, Bosquen Fire. I'm proud of the way our agency worked seamlessly with all of those different agencies, communication, tools, effort, everything was channeled. We got that young man out of the bottom of the river 9 minutes after we arrived on scene. Unfortunately, it was too late, right? So by that time, you add those 9 minutes, and then the delay in calling us and the response and all that stuff was probably close to 40 minutes he was under. But we gave him every chance we could, and we worked him all the way to the hospital. They originally got a heartbeat back, but you know, it was too late. But what we get out of that is, you know, we analyzed our response and our capabilities, but you know, we're thankful for the relationships we have with our adjoining departments, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard yet from the resident where you were all gathered when this event was taking place. She reached out to me and said she was just so impressed
Mhm.
with everybody who showed up there and everything they did for this young person. And
Yeah.
if you haven't heard from her yet, you will be.
I heard
Okay,
from her.
good.
Yeah, so, yeah. And, we don't get thanked that often, but, unfortunately, it's not the result that we wanted, but we
Yeah.
gave it our best effort. And about 2 weeks ago, around, late at night, 10:30, we had a serious medical incident on Pebble Beach. So Pebble Beach is that beach, you get off of Interville Road, you drive down, and you can drive to the gate. That's where we had, in 2020,
Yeah.
2 drownings.
Oh,
The-
yeah,
the
yeah.
Double drowning, same place. So somebody suffered a medical incident, not related to water. And they didn't know where they were, the caller. The caller stood in front of the sign that we placed out there and said, this sign says I'm at this lat, this long, and this is the name of the beach. So those signs were constructed, and Chief Doherty was part of that at the time, prior to my arrival in 220, when we had 3 drownings.
Yeah, yeah.
And part of the delay in response was people not knowing where they were. So we have a sign at all
Yeah.
the 4 beaches in town that we put up in the spring and take down in the fall. When people aren't swimming anymore, so they use that sign to tell us where we were. We went in, mitigated the medical, brought the personnel, transported to the hospital, so.
Great.
So that was very good, yeah.
Is there any benefit in just leaving them up all year?
Oh, when the water rises and the ice and all that stuff, you know, they probably ruin the signs.
Oh, okay.
And the smell, so we wait till like early November before we take them down. We'll put them up like mid-May, you know, so, yeah.
Wow.
The fire prevention, as always, numerous inspections, fire drills. I've seen there's a lot going on in town, building and construction and all that stuff, so. And I'm in touch with the elementary school, monthly drills are being scheduled, fire prevention week demo's already been scheduled for mid-October. Under membership, we have 3 new members in the last couple of months, and they're in various stages of training, and 1
Great.
pending application on the review, so. Hillsborough Farm, I'm working with them, I was down there last week. and they currently have 5 foundations in, so I had to work to input those into E911. And, you know, I'm probably down there once a week to see, because once they punch another foundation, I have to enter the address at the 911, so 911 can come up here and do their thing. Canterbury Fair, we had a detail working there, myself included, for the race, as we always do. The race was uneventful, but we had a serious medical incident not related to the race, and somebody suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns at the where they were cooking the chicken.
Oh, no, you're,
Somebody fell into the fire pit while we were there. Person just lost their balance and forearms, hands, and all that stuff.
ouch, ow, ow,
Yeah, so.
wow.
Fortunately, we were right there and transported him to the hospital. The new engine's been placed in service on the date that I thought it would, August 10th. I wanna say probably 2/3 of our department's been trained and signed off on this operation. It's gonna be going away in a couple of weeks, back to the dealer for, you know, first service and punch list items. Punch list is not overly that expensive, but, all the equipment's there and we're working it every day, but, so things are going well with that. Command car, that was scheduled to be delivered, late August, has been pushed back to early October. According to Grapponi, they told me it's sitting on the lot in Detroit, ready, but not sure why we're getting it in October, and she's looking into it, so.
You put it on a train, can you go
Yeah,
out with it?
yeah.
Probably cheaper to get a ticket and stick it on a train.
I was working with Ken on the platform where we could sell our old vehicles, the old fire truck and the old rescue, and we listed them on a platform, a national platform. I'm not overly confident, and I would probably say the same for Ken, that they're gonna sell on that platform. I think we were, but it's non-binding, so we can pull it off at any time. So we're looking at different options there. NASCAR is this weekend. We have a detail working the race Friday, a detail Saturday, and a detail Sunday with one of our fire engines. As we do every year, we work with, we've been training with Loudon and worked and staffing that, so that's coming up this weekend. And Beth, at your request, we purchased an AED and put it up in the meeting room.
Yep.
There it is, all right.
House here.
Now we better remember how to use it.
Yeah, so
Push button.
what I also did after I installed that is that we have an AED registration, so you could be sitting on this wall and call when somebody has a cardiac arrest, and they're gonna know there's an AED here. They know there's an AED in the Sam Lake House, they know there's one here and
Great.
all that stuff, so
Great,
that's already implemented into the system, so.
thank you.
all set. And
Much-
it's on our
much
list for
appreciated.
annual maintenance. That's all I have. Unless
Cool.
anybody has any questions?
That's all, that's a lot.
Mm.
No, thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
off the
Chief.
class, thank you.
Sam.
I wondered why the chicken barbecue was so clean when I went by.
Mhm.
They must have. Yes. Sorry. Hey, Sam.
Unpaid receivables list. Balance of 120,000 for the July bill is rather high.
Is it?
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking at names on here that usually pay,
Okay.
so. Just throwing that out there for a pulse.
Yep.
I sent out reminder notices last week and we haven't received anything yet, so.
Hmm.
When's the due date?
July 1st.
Hmm. Okay.
So. One of the properties, like Trinity Stable, is under contract to be sold, so that's gonna wait until closing, and that makes sense.
Yep.
But some of these other ones are usually paid by now, so. Jessie finished week of certification, so she's in year number 2 of 4. And she'll continue that next year, next August. And we got primary coming up.
Oh, yes.
What's that date? Remember?
The 8th, second Tuesday.
Yeah.
Stop sign.
So
Yep.
your attendance is requested.
Yes, it is.
And
6:30 a.m., September 8th.
Is it
at
required?
the elementary
Yes,
school.
it is required, unless you don't want to get paid this year.
Now, what's the big election? Is that the 3rd? November 3rd?
Tuesday.
Ken, did you get one? I've got 2 copies here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Leave it for now.
Questions for me?
I got nothing.
No, I don't think so. Thank you,
All
Sam.
right, thanks, Sam. Have a good night. John, I think that leaves you, my friend.
There are some interesting
We're
names
always
on here.
pretty quiet. Um, There'll be no bailing tomorrow at the dump. 2 are going to training, so
Huh?
at least be legal up there again.
Yeah, good.
Excuse me.
Next week, we're renting a machine, so I'm gonna try to mow the slopes and everything, mulch them up. Satisfy Aries.
Yeah.
T3 is back. Hopefully it's done playing its game back and forth. T7 and T4, the 2 550s are sitting down in Grapponi. Steering wheel is stripped out on one of them, and they're saying I must have done something, but of all the Fords we've had, we've never had
Yeah.
that happen.
That's an odd.
How would one make that happen?
I don't know. Don't know.
Okay.
We've been constantly catching up with grading, and we should be replacing 3 culverts, 1 on Hackleboro and 2 on Baptist Hill here in the next cycle. Bowden's last day is the 23rd.
Yeah.
We had 1 give notice that he's done playing, and we have 1, hopefully Ken will fill you in.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we have a candidate that applied, he's not living in town right now or in the area, he's living in Maine, and he's moving in, the end of the month. I did background checks, criminal motor vehicle.
Yeah.
And, reference checks, everything looks good. John and I did a phone interview this morning with him. He does not have a CDL, but he's driven a standard before, so we
Good
talked
stuff.
about the contract and everything else. After talking with him, John and I thought that he would be a good candidate to hire.
Okay.
So if you're good with that, then we will send him all the paperwork tomorrow. We have a tentative start date of the 31st.
Okay. So it sounds good to me.
I will
Yeah.
defer to your judgment as after your phone conversations and checking all the references.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
good.
Good time.
And timing could, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
timing could hardly be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of curiosity, when you say that he says he's driven a standard, does he mean a standard big truck or a standard like sports car?
Pickup truck, older pickup truck that he
Okay.
drove on an island off the coast of Maine. Not a lot of roads, but roads,
Yeah.
and felt comfortable learning how to drive it there, and thought he was fairly proficient.
Okay,
We'll find out.
that's what the school is for.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just don't let him touch the steering wheel, apparently.
Right.
So the water tank should be picked up this week,
Oh, yeah.
Good.
finally.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
When do we have to start to worry about swapping out whatever's in the salt shed now and putting salt back in it? Or is there only been salt in the salt shed?
Shoot.
Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry. They've got the Halloween candy in the stores already. I'm getting nervous.
I like to run the Sanders in the middle of October, so that by October 15th, I
Okay.
know that they're good to go.
Yeah.
And trucks will be dressed accordingly. We have more trucks than drivers, so there'll be something dressed that there's another Halloween 30-inch storm.
Yeah. I guess I was just wondering where, is there currently recycling in the salt shed like it's been in the past?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
He's getting close to having enough to ship. I asked him last Tuesday, and he needed to do a count
okay,
to figure that out.
okay. Thank you. I'm not ready for snow quite yet, but
No, me neither. Anybody else got anything for John?
no, thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, John.
Good timing on
If you saw
New
it
hire.
on the news, and probably what brought it up, Denver had to put their plows on.
I did see that. Little difference in elevation, but,
But you never know, we've had some
Yeah.
cool nights.
yeah, exactly. Alright.
Thank you, John.
Brendan, I'm assuming,
Yep.
why don't you have a seat at, welcome.
Thank you.
So we have Brendan Gill from Vertex Towers
Yep.
here to talk to us about the possibility of putting some kind of improving cell service in the town.
Yeah, very good.
So, thank you for having me. Brendan Gill, Vice President, Vertex Towers. I handle more real estate acquisitions, zoning, and development of sites. Vertex, we are a New England-based tower developer. Done numerous throughout Vermont, Hampshire, Maine, Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, and other states down in the Mid-Atlantic as well, New York. But mostly, I would say 80% of our towers are in New England. We build everything from 90 footers to 200 footers is usually where we're stationed at, and we work with all the major wireless providers, local municipalities, and anything that needs vertical infrastructure.
Yep.
That's Ken kind of reached out about the possibility. Obviously, Canterbury has unique topography where it's spread out. Certain sites get blocked out.
Mm.
Certain areas don't have coverage. So when the possibility of up at the municipal fire station and emergency service station up there has kind of that right positioning and the topography, that site would potentially be beneficial to the area there.
Okay.
So,
Question
happy to answer any
on-
questions.
Yeah, is there an RSA about being 1,500 feet away from a school or a, structure?
Under New Hampshire law, I believe that ordinance did not pass.
That was proposed in 2022 and it did not go anywhere.
Okay. Are there any advisories that you're aware of about siting towers within?
Nope, so every report, every site is given a MPE study, that's in regulation with the FCC. And usually most of our sites are within 3 to 4% of what's legally allowed.
Okay.
So, and that's monitored by the FCC with the user's licenses
Yeah.
and everything like that.
So I think that may become a concern. I assume you've been to our public safety center and
Yep.
you've driven past the school.
Yep.
And, I think that may be a concern to some people, is, the closeness of a potential tower to the school.
Understood,
So,
yep.
yeah,
And, like I say, is the carriers, they put these on schools, rooftops.
Yep.
They put them on hospitals.
I saw an article recently that somewhere a school actually had voted to not put a tower at their school.
Yep.
Because of health concerns.
In New Hampshire or where?
In New Hampshire, yeah.
Well, there's always a vigorous conversation about it.
There
I'm
is,
sure.
yeah. Who would
There is.
own the tower? Would the town own it? Would Vertex own it? How does that work?
Vertex would own it, we would also pay for it,
Okay,
and then there would be a revenue sharing portion back to the town.
okay. And as far as using the public safety center as an example, would we be able to place our police, fire, and I think town highway probably?
We always reserve about the top 5 feet.
Okay,
Usually it's whip antennas.
Yep.
If there's additional, like microwave dishes or anything like that.
Yep.
We can have that conversation as well.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
you're literally sitting in the middle of a dead zone right now.
Yes.
Which I'm sure you're aware of.
Yep.
In your experience, using this as a tower of, let's say, 100 feet, is there a dead zone as the signal leaves the tower underneath? In other words,
The worst place for service is underneath, directly
Yeah.
underneath the tower.
yeah, but how
But
far
it's-
out does that go?
Every site's a little different.
Yep.
But I would say maybe 100 feet radius off the tower.
That's it, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the people in the public safety center.
Yeah, it varies degrees of the
Yeah.
low signal, reliable signal, good signal,
Yeah.
things like that. So
And what frequencies are you using now? Because I know there's also been 5G pushback over health concerns?
Yeah, the carriers, they use everything from 600 megahertz to 2100 megahertz,
Okay.
2200 megahertz, so
Yeah,
depends on what they're deploying.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the municipality's emission, what their frequencies they're using.
yeah,
Those are usually probably lower, stronger ones.
it is, I think it's UHF in all cases, yeah,
So, there's various degrees of signals and stuff like that.
Yep.
What the
Yeah.
applications would
and
be.
typically, what's your output power? Any idea?
Well, we don't have the signal.
Okay,
The carriers have the signal.
right, oh, I
we
never
provide
thought about that,
infrastructure.
yeah, any idea though, typically what an output signal is for a carrier?
It ranges site to site, so.
Okay. We talking though 5 watts, 100 watts,
Let me double check. I don't have a good answer for
just
it.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 5G, as I understand it, is a much less output, but I
It's
think,
so 5G. It's more of a, I like to call it a marketing term.
Yeah.
Than anything. Same with 6G, same with 2G, 3G, 4G. And what it is essentially is that the signals are a lot weaker, they're
okay,
a lot thinner,
Yeah.
they're a lot faster
okay,
because of the response time between the devices and the transmitter, which moves
Yeah.
power.
yeah,
And so your data messages, your videos, your voice calling, everything like that, goes over those signals, and they have to be very quick back and forth, but they're not very strong. So that's
Yep.
why we're seeing more, especially a capacity. It's really a capacity issue, where sites can only handle so much coverage. So, like I said, the carriers have different applications that range from the 4G, the stronger or traditional voice message or voice signals, all the way up to which go with 5G, which is the milliwave signals.
Yeah.
The milliwave signals I would say are more for like downtown,
Yeah.
the more dense areas where there's more high usage. The racetrack, I'm sure at certain times they'll bring in what's called cows, the cell site on wheels. They handle that extra
Cows.
capacity to get to that usage standpoint that can handle the extra output. So,
Yeah. makes sense,
so it's a broad, it's a big puzzle.
yeah, and how about power requirements?
Single phase power.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
'cause-
Usually we bring in each carrier, it has its own, and we'll bring a meter bank to the compound. Each carrier has its own separately metered, they get about 200 amps.
Yeah.
And then they have a backup generator
I
as
was
well.
just gonna ask that,
Hmm.
okay, which is powered by,
Either diesel or propane.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
But it's a pretty standard, they've really shrunk too, because essentially what happens is the sites have battery packs that will run the site. Each carrier will have battery packs that will run their equipment for 8 to 10 hours
Yeah.
usually. When those get low, the generator will kick on, recharge them, and the generator will kick off. So if there's a power outage, it's not running constantly. And
Gotcha.
Oh, that's
throughout
good.
the cycle, it's usually like a home generator, but
Yeah.
if the power's out, that means the generators at the fire station will probably be on, or
yeah,
kids' home generators.
yeah,
And we can muffle them too.
okay.
Okay.
And how physically, tower and any ancillary stuff like a generator or whatever?
Yep.
How big a footprint do you need?
We can fit everything inside of a 50-foot by 50-foot area.
Okay.
Hmm.
Have we got 50 by 50 somewhere up there?
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, we can
yeah,
40 by 60.
Yeah,
We can
right,
play with the
yeah,
dimensions.
yeah,
Essentially, the foundation of the tower, it's about a 25-foot by 25-foot pad. It goes
Yep.
about 6 feet, 8 feet down. It's concrete reinforced, depends on the soils and everything. That gets backfilled, and then the compound equipment gets put on top of that. And the tower is typically like monopole,
Hmm.
gets stacked on top of that.
Yep.
So it's a pretty streamlined
yeah,
structure.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we can try to convince them, so the big footprints of the big guide wire towers aren't needed anymore, there's nothing like that,
Yeah.
so.
and Ken, have we got anything, I think we're looking for coverage. I guess I would call the eastern part of the town.
Well, that
Yeah,
would be my question, is how much would this cover?
Great, you wanna send some
Yeah.
my way?
Yeah,
So,
well,
Um,
there's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Sure.
to completely cover the town, you probably need 2 sites additional, so you need
Okay.
one.
2 additional, so 3
Oh,
total?
no, I'm sorry, so two new sites.
Okay,
up here, up at the fire station,
Yep,
and then some more closer to the east edge of the town. And that's more so because of the topography.
yeah,
Some signals will overshoot, some signals will get blocked out, and also it's a fairly large area.
yeah,
Um,
it is. Are you thinking like over by 93 then, or,
Eastern would be Shaker Village, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or, yeah, I'm sorry,
Shaker Road,
east?
yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I would have to, I haven't looked over in that area specifically yet, just
Yeah.
because this is what we kind of keep it to the town
Right.
center area.
right.
Um,
But doesn't the eastern, I was wrong on my directions, it's the western part of town that has the weak signals.
It's the whole part of town.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you have various reasons for why your signal. So
Yeah,
the eastern part of town is because it's more lack of coverage.
right, 'Cause it's such a
Similarly
large
with the
area.
Center here.
yeah,
And then as you get closer to 93,
yep,
it becomes more populated, more usage, so you're gonna get more of a capacity issue there.
yeah, okay. People traveling up and down 93,
Right.
yeah, makes sense.
So would we really need for total coverage 3 sites?
No, two.
Just 2,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I guess I apologize for not talking on the phone about this, but, how do we, and I don't know if you do it, get carriers to use the tower?
We handle that.
You
have our
do
relations
handle
with
it.
the
Well, that would be
carriers
my
and-
question, because I know they had that issue up in Andover, is do you get tenants for the, in Andover, they wanted to have guarantee that there were tenants on the tower before you built.
Yes, so we do, yeah. So
Okay.
we started construction 2 weeks ago in Andover.
Okay,
So it's the process with the carriers, it's, you know, fun. They look at what their needs are, what their budgets are, and what their
Yeah.
network is. And each carrier has its own perspective and all of those separate criteria.
Yeah,
What we do is we have our own internal department that looks at coverages and looks at the different carrier coverages and things like that and says, well, where can we find one location that can optimize it, that works, that there's no existing infrastructure that can handle it and things like that, that's buildable and
yeah,
so we have relationships with carriers, we meet monthly with them, we tell them, they look at they know our sites, they know what's coming up. And then we try to get, essentially we say, well, we have a site here, and then we'll work with them on getting that budget for them to come on, make
Yeah.
sure that it works with their network, which, we go to great lengths to make sure it does.
Yeah.
That we're, we wouldn't be doing it otherwise.
so
and that would all be done before you build.
Concurrently,
Okay.
Yeah.
has anything changed though? Let's say, just to toss names out there, let's say Verizon says, okay, we want a place on your
Yep.
your tower. People that live in town that don't have Verizon, where does that leave them?
typically now, where one carrier has coverage.
Yep,
Loosely speaking,
Hmm.
the other carriers will have coverage now too, so they're competitors. So if no one has coverage, it doesn't mean that one carrier is better than any other carrier.
right,
That's usually because of lack of infrastructure. So,
okay,
that's kind of where I see Canterbury right now. So that's the need.
So if I'm understanding, if there's only a Verizon carrier on that tower, people who have AT&T should also be able to get signal once we have a tower?
Well, they share, a lot of these share
Yeah.
towers too. Like
Yeah,
they
so
share.
one tower can hold Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile.
Oh, correct, no, I know that, but if for some reason you only had a tower that had one
Well,
tenant.
Verizon wouldn't want AT&T or T-Mobile to have coverage somewhere that they do.
Ah.
Vice versa.
Okay, got it, that makes sense,
Especially in a demand areas.
yeah.
okay, that makes.
So if you're talking eastern side of town, what would be the ideal site? Or what do you need as a tower? Do you need to be a proximity from a maintained road? Like what's the,
It depends. I would really have to. I wasn't prepared to talk about the eastern part of town right now, so I wouldn't want to misspeak about any particular location or anything like that. I'd have to study the topography and look at what's near and how the signal would play off of the other site. to make sure that's meshed correctly, and then you have to look at what's available there. It could be all conservation.
I was gonna say a lot of it's shaker or
Well,
private
we
land.
have to, we
It
have
could be
to,
ponds. It
Yeah.
could be-
Yeah.
So it depends on, you know, we'd have to finally tune it from there.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to provide some locations once I get back and
Yeah.
search it.
and are towers your only thing that you build? Like I know, you know, people talk about putting repeaters and stuff inside church steeples or
Yep.
on telephone poles, or do you do that as well?
I used to work for the carriers doing their real estate where they would do that, where Verizon, you know, they wanted to be right in the center of town. And the church steeple could hold that, or there was a rooftop that could hold that. So the carriers do that internally themselves. Where there's no infrastructure, that's where we come into play, and that's where we build towers. So we don't get involved. I can certainly recommend, you know, make introductions to the carriers if there was, you know, the problem is like a church steeple here is getting blocked out no further than the fire station, so just wouldn't
Hmm.
provide that service.
Well, I don't know if that even helps. Somebody just approached me the other day and said, well, you know, if you're even talking about it up there, does it help to have an additional something, booster or whatever in the church steeple? Like Canterbury Fair Day, when everybody's all hysterical that they can't use their phones because there's an extra 1,000 people in the center.
Typically, something like that, you know, they bring in a mobile site for an event, or they would go with what's called a micro site, essentially. They try to find a rooftop or something.
Okay.
If the demand is there.
Okay.
But we're talking on a macro site level, where we're talking about miles, not yards.
Right.
Okay.
So
So do we have any other sites on the western part that are town owned?
there's a few towers along the 93 stretch because that is what the bylaws dictate.
Okay,
Yeah, if,
That would be the next kind of conversation pieces about the bylaw. How
okay,
we need any site other than in that area would need a variance.
Yeah.
And there's already towers in that area, so I think that's, you know,
yeah, I believe there's one on Oak Hill in Northfield.
Hmm.
There's one in Bosquen, just off of Queen Street.
yeah,
They just put the one there at the exit 17
right,
marketplace.
which we were hopeful might help us here, but
to be honest, it's just because of the topography. It's
Yeah.
not gonna reach up here. So
Yeah.
nothing over there is gonna help here or over there, and vice versa. There's nothing over there that would have helped over there.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's one across from the Beanstalk by the trailer place there. It's
right,
not a tall one.
Yeah.
It's got the, looks like the tree they did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there is one there.
yeah, I know the one you're talking
But
about,
if you get up on Shaker Road.
right,
there's
you
very
run right
little
out of it,
coverage.
yeah, you sure do,
So that's why we try to go through a lot of, you know, we look at different designs, different areas, different
Yeah.
things, because the problem is a lot of times towers were kind of put in, you know, industrial zones.
Yeah.
Because that was the only use for it 20 years ago.
right,
Now it's not just an, you know, accessory use anymore, it's
No.
primary use.
Yeah.
So realistically, that coverage is taken care of, and now the coverage is, the usage is being used outside of that coverage area.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going into other areas of the towns and stuff like that,
Yeah.
need for it as well. So,
Yeah.
and that's, you know, we're running into issues with bylaws and things like that, where, but I went through the bylaw and there's, you know, there would need to be a variance request for use and, but all of it's justifiable. I don't see anything
yeah,
heavy lift as long as
Yeah.
the boards are.
I would think there's so many people now that are working at home that want to, you know, use their cell phone, you know, more than 10 feet away from their desk. And even just our aging population, it's a real safety thing to be able to call if you're out in the yard and you fall down.
I mean, we're connected to, you know, various light links and things like that.
Yeah.
So the carriers use AT&T has the FirstNet system, which I don't know if this is the FirstNet town.
this is the first net town,
So
Yeah.
the usage can be covered there.
At what
So
town?
that's-
first
First
net,
net.
Oh, FirstNet.
How long does the project take?
The actual construction is the easy part. That takes about a month.
yeah, getting to that end though
You know,
is,
it would, depending on what route it goes, I would estimate about 12 to 15 months to have a tower on air.
Hmm.
The engineering takes, you know, a good couple months. With the town, it would have to be a lease, as the town warrant. So there's a whole process there as far as leasing space, things like that.
Yeah.
And the zoning. So,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun from
Yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah, a lot of steps. I can't think of anything else at this point anyway.
No, that answered all my questions,
Yeah,
except,
I would guess that the next steps that you guys should take is to reach out to planning, zoning, HDC. And try and get some input from them.
Yeah.
Would be my thought.
is there a problem? Do we have to go through all that if it's just the tower up at the municipal center?
So
We still do.
the town, you should.
Yeah.
The town does not have to abide by its own zoning regulations.
But it's polite.
But you should.
If I could suggest a roadmap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always open to suggestions.
Under the bylaw, and that the fire station is in the center district, I believe.
Yes, and
it is,
historic.
it is correct, yep.
So it's not allowed for a new tower,
Yeah.
which means it would need to go to the zoning board for a use variance.
Yeah,
From there,
but let me just stop you right there, wouldn't the HTC also have to weigh in?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
but I would start with the use.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
right, it's a moot point if
Right.
one says yes and the other says no.
Yep.
Yeah,
so there would be a zoning board application for variance for the use. From there, then it would move on to planning and historic.
Yeah.
And the historical aspect of it is also we have to run, or you have to run a NEPA report. So, that's a federal regulatory board, very encompassing, everything from state SHPO to endangered wetlands, endangered species, tribal, everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That takes 5 to 6 months to complete as well, so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of due diligence that goes into it.
So if we contemplated this at all, we're looking probably the end of, 2028 we're into already, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to, town council would have to come up with a plan for leasing the space.
Right.
I believe it have to go to town warrant, to do so.
Yeah. That
We
makes sense.
deal with this, we dealt with other municipalities, essentially, it's kind of a standard procedure, anything over a 20-year lease has to go. So if that gets approved, then we can enter into lease agreement and we can start the zoning process from there.
And at some point when we figure out the town there'll be legal fees, but you own and build what ends up to be the cost of the town to do this?
So during that process, well, your town council was reviews, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The lease isn't really burdensome for any, most town councils, review them before, anything like that, so they're familiar with them. The zoning aspect of it, we handle everything. So we take care of all the costs for the zoning, all the fees to the town, if you hire a subject matter expert, we cover those fees reasonably. Put in there. Then all the actual construction of it, we handle all the engineering work. Obviously the permitting, everything is covered in there. Then the physical construction, the maintenance and the tower itself, we handle all of that as well.
Okay,
Anything further?
I don't think so. Not at this time, anyway.
Yeah,
Except, I guess, where we go next, once,
Right.
Our guest leaves
Yeah.
and,
So again, I think, I get some information from Brendan and
yeah,
do a roadmap, so to speak. But I don't think it would hurt to at least let the ZBA, planning board, HCC know that you're investigating this.
Yeah.
To give them a heads up.
Well, the all boards meeting is coming up shortly, isn't it? We
Yes,
could probably
it
bring it
is.
up there.
Well, I mean, would it be worth having a public meeting to gauge interest and or I would hate to do all this work just to have something that the town says we don't want it.
Potentially.
You
I
know,
mean,
like I can't see a lot of people saying no, but
Well, you'd be interested. There was a very active conversation about this up in, and I keep bringing up Andover because that's the only one I went to. And then, you know, a lot of the questions were answered and it was not as much of a problem as they perhaps thought it was going to be, or at least it didn't stop it.
So if we have,
So-
if we bring it up at the all boards meeting,
it's what next week? 2 weeks?
mm,
3 weeks? Soon weeks?
September,
It's coming up, yeah.
September, I think. We have budget
The
next week.
15th.
Budget's
Yeah.
next week.
Right, budget's next week,
Right,
15th of September.
September is land use
Right,
boards.
land use sports, yeah, it is. So that would be a good
that
time.
would be a good time to, that'll give Brendan and I a chance to talk a little bit.
Right. I think certainly speaking for me, my concern is, I think along the lines of what you just said, which is public perception. I think it's changed, but I'm not sure, I think it might still be there. Health concerns, you know, specifically around that much RF, you know, so close to a school especially.
I understand that, and it's, you know, there's definitely a lot of things out on the internet, you can Google and find anything.
Yep,
That's why it's up to the boards, they can hire independent experts to review any information out there. And then there's mechanical engineer, or electrical mechanical engineers that, you know, there's a lot of them out there, especially in New Hampshire, that can verify information.
Yeah.
You know, there's the sites, you know, I think from the first example would be emergency communications sites, so the town, municipality, the fire, police can go up on the tower, we build that for them, and then getting carriers on there as well. The carriers have to justify their use, make sure they're in their purview of their license with the FCC.
Yeah.
And within the health and safety standards as well.
Right.
So, once the actual information's out there, you usually see it's far below the thresholds.
yeah,
So,
And I think the, you know, if I had to, I think the percentage of people that might have real concerns about the health impacts might be very overweighed by the percentage of people who really want cell phone coverage. So it'll be an interesting, it needs to be a public conversation for sure, and it'll be interesting to see how that falls out, but
yeah,
I think, yeah, and the public safety versus public health is an interesting,
right,
both sides of that coin, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we start, you know, bringing up to the land use boards in September, that would be good.
Calvin?
No, I agree. Like if we have a public information night, then we
Yeah.
can kind of get a rough idea if the town wants to move forward. I would hope they do. And then that way we're not wasting your time.
Yeah,
We're not wasting the board's process time.
Yeah.
sure, so I'd be happy to answer any questions that come up in the meantime, or
okay,
if at the joint meeting, there's a Zoom link, I'd be happy to hop on it too.
okay,
That
Yeah.
you guys feel
I think we
that's
could
necessary.
probably make that happen, actually.
so,
I think that would be a good
So-
idea.
So let's plan on that, actually,
Sure.
that's the 15th of September.
Okay.
Um,
Should be available. I would just ask if you maybe gauge the members of questions beforehand.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I could
Yep.
speak to them.
Sure.
briefly.
okay,
Um,
we can certainly do that.
Big when Cal sends out the agenda, if, you know, if she puts out something that says, you know, we're going to have this representative zooming
Yeah.
in, please send any questions.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and Brendan, if it helps you schedule, the meeting is scheduled for the 15th of September from 7 to 8 P.M.
Right, 'cause ag meets tomorrow, so I can bring it up at the ag meeting
Yeah,
tomorrow.
there you go. Yeah, cause there, you know, there may be
So did
some
you say the 17th or the 15th?
15, yep. There may also be some concerns of the aesthetics. You know, in a
Yeah, we'll paint it
historic
white.
district. What's
Make it look like a tree.
exactly, no more Frankenpines.
Maybe we could put some solar panels on it.
Yeah.
What, Frankenpie?
Frankenpie.
I've never heard that term.
So typically, when do you
That's perfect.
determine the height? Like late in the engineering stage?
I mean, I have my airplanes look at it, because of the topography up there. Probably it wouldn't have to be any taller than say 160 feet to maximize the usage.
Okay.
You know, if you go lower, then you're gonna sacrifice, the lowest tenant on the tower, but then create a justification for maybe more site, it's if you add 10 feet to the top and you only need one site versus restricting the height, and you're gonna create more sites from there.
Yeah.
So we can map all that out, kind of show the differences.
If you had two sites, could you go lower? Would they ping off each other, or is it still?
It's
it's all
not
topography?
here, it's
Yeah.
more of a distance
Okay.
thing, the topography thing, so.
The mapping was really interesting to see how you can map on the topography, how far that signal will reach.
Yep.
And actually, even from the municipal center, even if it was a 160-foot tower, where would you see it from?
Probably my house.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Personally, I think I do a lot of these sites and I have a pretty good feel of, most people, when they look, they're not looking at a straight field across, they're looking out through tree canopy. So that cuts off on a lot of the visuals. So there might be, various ridges, but when this is at the top, most of the residents are below. So they're gonna be looking up at the tree canopy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're staying right in the front of the fire station, and at least, right in the main road there, looking at it, you'll be able to see it. But I do think it's gonna be fairly, the visual impact will be pretty minimal, I would say. We do during the balloon test, which will be during the zoning and planning board.
mhm.
We fly a balloon at the height of the tower, drive around anywhere you can see it, be publicly noticed. And then we do photo simulations to show you what the tower looked like from that location as well.
But what we should be picturing now is essentially a monopole,
A
right?
monopole,
Yeah.
I would, for two reasons, I would strongly not recommend a monopine, the trees.
Right.
One, because they don't look like trees.
Agreed.
Two, it would restrict the use for municipalities as well at the top.
Yeah.
Because you can't put a tree topper on it and then put the whips at the top.
Yep.
Plus, they just
Monopine.
look silly.
Yeah.
We did a 150-foot one over in Henniker a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
it's 50 feet taller than any of the other trees in the area.
Yep.
So,
Exactly. What's the diameter typically of a monopole these days?
about 10 feet.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you add on the branches,
Yeah.
18 feet,
Okay.
20 feet,
I was gonna ask that actually.
So,
So, yeah.
it dramatically increases it.
Yeah.
We can paint it brown, which is like a core 10 rusting material, which would, in certain areas it makes it blend better in with the tree bark and stuff like that, and kind of darkens a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's gonna be too many vantage points where it's gonna be so obtrusive that
Yeah.
I think most people would think, by the municipal center, that's pretty equipment heavy anyway. It's not as big a deal as if we're looking at someplace over by Shaker Village,
Mm.
which will definitely,
Right.
although, there was the big windmill out there.
Right.
they have to have the
You
right
can see that from my
backdrop
house.
too.
Pardon?
You could see that from my house.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a town in Massachusetts that, the planning board required us to put a tower up, monopine up.
Yeah.
Against everyone's recommendations, we provided all the information, but they really wanted it. As soon as it went up, that same day, we had a call from them asking us to take it down because it didn't look right. And we had to, it adds
And who paid for that?
hundreds of thousands of dollars of engineering.
I'll bet.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
Same day?
Yeah, so that's why we, it sounded good in zoning boards, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But,
Oh dear.
certain backdrops, they look fine,
Yeah.
But we're in New England, if there's ice, there's snow, there's changing.
Yeah.
Foliage, it's just.
Hmm.
It is what it is, you can't put lipstick on a pig.
Right.
Or a pine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else?
No, I don't think so.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate your time.
Brendan.
Happy to answer any questions as well.
All righty,
you.
great. I think that'll be really helpful to be able to move that along on the 15th.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Thank you too.
All right, you wanna sign some stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
Sign some stuff.
you do it,
I know.
you sign it. All right, this is an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $27,060.37.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor? Aye?
Aye, what was that amount again, please?
27060.37.
Okay. Yet again, I need a black pen, because I'm. Here, you sign while I find a pen.
Yeah.
I know there's one here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have a payroll manifest in the amount of $60,644.62.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye. Yeah, please change.
Alright. Thank you. Alright, there's that. Alright, next is a warrant for land use change tax in the amount of $14,084 for municipal tax map 258 lot 26-1, 26 Nottingham Road, Canterbury.
Wait, which one? Please.
Nottingham, 26
Oh, okay.
Nottingham Road.
So this goes to the town or does this go to conservation?
This, I believe, goes to conservation.
Land use
Land
change
Land use
tax.
change tax?
Yes,
Yeah.
goes to
Okay,
conservation.
yeah,
But timber tax goes to the town.
correct.
Okay.
And we just need to sign, right?
That's
No,
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And today being the 17th. And it looks like 2 places to sign.
How did it get to be the 17th already?
I know.
When does school start?
2 weeks from today,
Ooh.
but who's counting?
Yeah.
2 weeks, 14 hours out.
Yep, I don't think there's any place else to sign.
I'll spot you and see if I find it.
Yep, if you do, sing out.
You signed the little post-it note there with your date.
No, actually, that was there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That was pre-signed.
It's right on top of yours.
Is that it? Just those two?
Pardon?
Just those two?
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, another land use change tax. This one is in the amount of $1,147.50. And this is for tax map 258, lot number 26, 129 Pickard Road.
That's just a little one.
Yes, it is. Pickard's a little road, so.
Can I ask a question about Pickard while we're signing?
Please.
So we didn't do that dry hydrant down there. Did they find another place or?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know that there is another suitable place.
They're looking at Scales Road,
Yeah.
that was a.
Correct.
How much does that compromise what they can do down at
Well,
Side Town?
I mean, it's always nice to have dry hydrants close by,
Mm.
so. Fire departments, we make do, that is just what we do, so no matter what, we'll get it done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, next is another warrant for land use change tax. This is in the amount of $13,500. And it is for tax map 232, lot number 18. And Alright.
Ooh, Beth, you missed the second page.
Oh, I did, you're right.
Oh boy.
Man,
Dock my pay. Alright, that's official now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alright, next item we have is a town center sign placement request from Jane Balshaw Creative. And it is to display a sign from September 24th to October 12th. Location of sign, it says Town Green near Vets Memorial Corner. And there is a mock-up of the sign attached. I mean, it sounds like this is just a temporary thing.
Yeah, it's for,
So, yeah, it
open
says,
studio.
right, open studio
Yeah.
art show with baked goods, so I would say for the date the approval expires, say October 13th.
Yeah.
Would be good.
I noticed the sunflower sign was down today,
Oh,
which
I
was too
didn't
bad, I
notice.
kinda missed it.
Yeah,
It was a nice sign.
and does anybody have any issues with approving it?
No, I saw
Okay.
Jane always does
Very
a good job,
Yeah,
and
yes.
I
she
can see the
certainly does.
mock-up. She's good about that.
Yes.
I didn't, 24, 48. Oh, so it's not any taller than me, so that's fine,
Nope.
which means it's short.
just that one.
Yes, but if on the next page you can see the sign.
Bakery pop-up. Is that an illegal bakery?
Depends on what they're selling, I suppose. Alright, it looks like the last item for signature is an account creation form for TD Bank. Can this look like it was partially signed already, right? I see some signatures on
Think-
it. Yeah.
I think this is for,
What are we creating an account for?
so, our CDs that we've been taking out.
Yep.
We got a bunch of tax money in, cause we had called all the CDs, so we
Yep.
didn't have anybody, have any out. So we're reestablishing and getting
Gotcha.
3 more CDs.
Okay.
So these are the deposit, signature cards, basically is what they call them.
Alright, and I need to sign here, it says. See all kinds of.
Oh, I think I saw, yeah, 'cause my signatures there came in one day when,
Gotcha.
Mary had
Oh,
me
that's
do it.
Calvin, okay.
Oh, I
So
signed it?
I must be, there we go, okay, so there's. Right, that's Calvin. That's Calvin, there's me. There isn't much rhyme or reason here to where each of us needs to sign, but we'll make our way through it. That's Calvin again, and there's me.
it's good, Scott, sign here.
Yep, exactly. Well, also, it's got my name.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think I'm all set.
It looks like you are.
Am I all set?
No, you need to
No,
go
you've
find
got-
your,
yeah,
find
Good
your
luck with that.
name
I've got several
and
places.
find your thing. You're probably the purple one if I,
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. Color coding, what a concept.
I gotta give him my birthday. Oh lord.
yeah, why they need your birthday, I don't know. It's like, what?
I
I'm
didn't even
sure I
see
want,
that.
I'm not sure I wanna give you my birth, oh yeah, you better look, you're supposed to put your birthday down there.
Easy to put it in now.
So we've reestablished 3 CDs for 500,000 each.
Yep,
So 1.5 million, one's for 1 month, one's for 2 months, one's for 3 months.
yep, and I remember
And we
that,
will rotate until we need to we start using our cash and then we need something,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, okay. This is great though, I mean, you know, it generates income for the
It does.
town.
Well, when you looked at the profit and loss, it was 32,000?
I'd have to look at it,
That's what
Yeah.
I've got it on my,
Our interest, our earned interest, yeah.
which is,
Which is, that's
Great.
money that, you know, we can use somewhere
Right.
else.
I think TD Bank said the last time you earned about
I'm not looking to see where your
3% more
birth date
than what
is,
we would have.
date of birth.
With our interest that we earned on our regular checking.
It's a good chunk of money.
A
Yeah,
little bit helps, it really does.
guess you need to make sure that you can drive a car and drink alcohol before you can open it and check it, I don't know.
Well, I bet they'll
I
take your
got
money.
carded for the first time in, I can't think of how long, at Shaw's the other day, I was buying a little tiny thing of sake. Now, I bought wine, beer, everything else there, and they carded me for that, and I was like, why, that? But for some reason it rang the,
Store policy, I
it's like, it
guess.
took off my head,
Yeah.
I was like, look, I can do it. But it was
That's
just
right.
interesting that it was that one particular,
You go to a Red Sox game or a Bruins game or a Celtics game and you want some kind of alcohol, you will get carded.
from a vendor in the
Mhm.
stands,
Doesn't
interesting.
matter if you're,
Very strict.
7,000 years old.
what you look like,
Yeah,
they card
interesting.
everybody.
All right, well,
At this, I'm sure we all, at this point, I'm flattered if somebody, you know. Alright, moving on, previous minutes approval, so the public session, August 3rd, 2026. I don't know if Cal got
Yep,
anything.
the only thing is on line 54, the question was asked about a report. Lisa reiterated the information asked for was the purpose of the inspection, why the kitchen was closed down. And the only changes, and then why that decision was reversed.
Okay.
That was the-
added to the minutes.
Okay,
that was the end of her request.
And that's all that was,
Okay.
the change.
anybody else have anything?
Nope.
Okay, I'll move the minutes as amended then.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, and then we have some non-public minutes.
I don't know if they're in the folder
Nope,
or not.
they are
They're
not.
not, then.
So we could just save them,
We'll save
yeah,
it for next
the
time.
next meeting,
Yes, then we don't have our colorful folders.
yeah, no worries.
Okay,
Alright, Ken, unless, you wanna add anything, it looks like we've already taken care of the highway department applicant.
Correct.
Alright, that brings us to assessing.
Yes, so, Mandy asked me the other day, about the potential for doing an RFP for a company to do data collection. Several years ago, we used to hire outside companies to do, the revals. The total reval was done by somebody that we hired.
Yep.
Several years ago, she brought a proposal to the Board of Selectmen at the time and said she would do it, she would do the whole thing, bump her salary up, and they did.
Okay,
It's gotten to the point where when she goes in the office now, it becomes way more difficult for her to get out and do, field work. She can do the regular field work, the regular pickups on new additions, things like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the revals on all the data collection, it hasn't been done. Basically, it's each property is visited by somebody.
Yeah.
And they use the tax card, they look at it and they say, okay, geez, you have a shed here now, and they make
Yeah.
that. She would, is willing to renegotiate her salary to account for that. Wanted to ask me if you guys are interested, this would be for 2027.
Yep.
So, I didn't know if you were interested in talking to her about that, she would come and talk to you guys.
Yep. Ballpark, any idea of the cost?
She had one, a few years ago, a proposal, and thought she still had it, but she doesn't.
Okay.
I think if we had the numbers, that would help me decide a
That's-
little bit more, though I totally rely on Mandy's assessment, as you were, of
And,
what she can and can't do.
and this is
But-
more if you say, yep, you're interested in talking to her, or no, you're not. And, basically, I'm kind of pleading her case for her because I will say, particularly where we have had the vacancy in the land use administrator's position, the staff there is picking up a lot of that work.
Yeah.
And as you know, we've had some big projects go through, and we're feeling the pinch a little bit.
Okay,
And I think even if we were to get a land use administrator back, it would still be, the office, if you come in, either she's on the phone or talking to somebody.
I've noticed.
And it's very, very difficult for her to get out
Yeah.
and work on her own, so.
Certainly, speaking for myself only, I certainly would be happy to meet with her.
oh,
I
yes,
think, there's no reason not to that I can think of.
I would agree.
The only, I don't know who could do it. Who has time to do it would be what are, the salary comparison again with towns, of comparable size. I mean, so many years I think have passed that it may be what we're paying her now is perfectly reasonable for the work she's doing, so.
I think, I try to do wage surveys, I'm on that listserv, I can send out an
Yeah.
email, and I typically get, on something like this, I'll probably get a dozen answers.
Okay, that'd be great. I think that would be helpful for our discussion with her.
When was the last time, when did she take on this role and renegotiate her salary? 10 years?
No,
Not 10 years ago, Yeah.
4 or 5.
5, 6
Yeah.
maybe,
Around COVID-ish.
Somewhere.
I'd have to look back, but
Yeah.
around
Oh,
5 or 6
yeah,
years
okay.
ago.
Yeah,
So, well, let's see.
So
It was
she'd have to
before
do
the
at least,
last- It was before the last reval.
yeah,
correct.
because she
So it
did
was-
one whole revow.
Right, she did one whole one by herself, and
so it's more than
I think
5
it was
years.
more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
yeah, no, definitely worth talking to her.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Agreed.
with some
Right.
extra numbers. And
Yep.
also, if at the same time, if we can get a idea of what it might cost.
Yeah,
to
absolutely,
contract.
we'll have numbers.
Yeah.
We'll solicit some
Yeah.
questions and see
Yeah.
what other towns. and-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything under new business from anyone?
Uh,
I had
No.
something and forgot.
That's why you
So-
write
so
things
the
down.
Come
next
back
step.
after, yeah.
Alright, we'll come back to you.
We'll circle back.
Yep, alright, old business library HVAC.
Yes, so I guess we should start off with the email that was sent by
I
Rachel
was gonna
earlier
mention
today.
that, yeah,
I think you all got it.
yes.
There was a request that have you guys read it into the minutes.
Alright, stand by.
I have it right here if you want.
Yeah, actually, that'd be great, I'll save you from going through my phone. Alright, so once again, as Ken said, this is an email that was sent to the members of the Board of Selectmen and the town administrator and the administrative assistant. Its subject is heating proposals. It says, hello all, I will not be at the BOS meeting today, August 17th. But I ask that this statement be read into the record and included in this evening's discussion. I appreciate the work that Ken did to gather the information for your review. I believe he performed a comprehensive review that will help you make your decision. However, I wanted to make the board aware that the decision to have Ken complete this work was unexpected, as I had already performed an extensive review myself. The fact that he was asked to complete this by the Board of Selectmen has left me and the Board of Trustees dismayed and disappointed. Let the record show that I, along with the Board of Trustees, stand with our decision to have Revision Energy complete the work. Thank you, Rachel. So I'll give that back to you, Ken. And I think, Ken, you had some estimates.
So I sent this out this morning,
Yep.
it's a comparison chart, the estimates that I got, that include the revision energy. They're at the top, their cost was $64,026. It's for 4 exterior units and 8 interior units, the Mitsubishi mini split hyperheats. It's a 12-year manufacturer revision, enhanced labor workmanship on the warranty. It's recommended by the library and does not use the existing HVAC system. The next one down is Rowell's, and they gave us 3 different bids. They did not quote for mini splits, they don't recommend just mini splits.
Yep.
They felt that the salesperson felt that if there was an extended cold period, that just mini splits may not handle the heat needed in the building.
Okay.
So they gave different quotes on furnaces and new air conditioning units. And they start off at $87,714 for 19 SEER heat pumps, $73,466 for 20 SEER heat pumps, and $70,977 for standard efficiency heat pumps. And you can see the manufacturer's 5-year warranty on all those and a 20-year warranty on the heat exchanger. And they all use existing ductwork.
Can we back up for half a second? I wasn't sure what 19 SEER or 20 SEER referred to. Is that just the brand?
So,
The,
no,
or
that
the
is
capacity?
that is the efficiency of the unit,
Okay. A 20 SEER being more efficient.
correct.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, the 19 SEER is more efficient.
Oh.
It's more money.
Okay.
And then down to Bumblebee, which they gave a quote for mini splits, 4 outdoor units, 12 indoor units. They're Samsung mini splits, $57,355.86. 10-year manufacturer warranty plus additional 2-year. That does not include the electrical work. And I was gonna try and find the cost of the electrical for this building.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I ran out of time today. There was an incident that came up this afternoon that I had handled that precluded me. from doing that.
Understood, yeah.
So,
we can get that,
I can get that.
yeah, thank you.
Probably 3 to
They-
8 grand.
Pardon me,
Probably like 3 to 8 grand would be my guess if they have to wire 4 units.
that would probably, yeah,
Probably
that would be
ballpark,
my
yeah.
guess.
Ballpark
That gives
is
us
pretty
a,
good,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty good
Yeah.
idea.
Even, but, I guess my first question on that, well, I'll let you finish and then I'll go back with questions.
Yep, they gave a estimate for just a heat pump system that uses existing ductwork. So basically, it's a big, heat pump that serves the whole building. And that's $41,382. I did not get warranty information on that. Again, it uses the existing ductwork. And then they have a price for 3 GE furnaces and AC units at $50,874. Again, that uses existing ductwork. And then Live Free HVAC, their proposal was a combined system of 3 furnaces, 3 heat pump AC units for $64,191, and then 2 mini splits on the parking lot wall for an additional $14,287. So the grand total would be $78,478. Just as I did check with Energy Efficient Investments, they're the company that's doing the CES. And they did not respond to my email or my phone call.
Well,
Guess they're busy enough.
Just as some details about this, if we went with just mini splits, we could do on-bill financing. If we went with just a heat pump, we could get on-bill financing. If we put gas furnaces in there, we have to come up with the money for that.
okay, it's good to know.
That is good to know.
I mean, I looked at all the emails. I know Live Free is the most expensive, but I liked what they were doing in terms of the ductwork assessment, the upgrading all the Wi-Fi systems, sort of the smart technology, and understanding that the mini splits are supplemental heating. And for me, knowing that if the mini splits go down, because parts for mini splits, you don't pull them off a shelf, you order them. You still have 3 furnaces that you can heat that place in the winter if
Well, and the mini splits are in the part of the building that need it.
right,
not
and it's a
12.
supplemental heat source.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't like the price, but I thought as an overall heating combination, that appealed to me the most for longevity of the building and using the infrastructure in place and just updating it to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
I just hate to see four units outside. What are we gonna do with the ductwork in there? They're gonna go in and tear it all out. Is it gonna sit there? Like, then it becomes a hazard when it's not used.
Well, and why, I mean, 8 indoor units versus 12, and if we're worried about punching holes in the exterior of the building. I didn't realize that one exterior unit could handle 3 I thought
The
it was.
different heads.
Yeah, I thought one could only handle 2, but
The
what do I know?
one at the meeting at the Sam Lake House has 1 outside unit and 5 indoor heads.
Oh, okay, so what do I know? Okay,
I just the sentiment of mini splits. I think it was only 2 years ago the state allowed them as a primary heat source. It's a relatively new primary heat source. And speaking with HVAC professionals, when they go down, they go down. You know, it's like the old, the furnaces or the old standby pickup truck. It'll drive, and you can fix it the next day. You can go to the auto parts store and get what you need. I just hate to have a building that gets used as much as that, and if it's in a jam, you're up a creek with no paddle.
I'm not as familiar with you about that, but it was interesting because I did like the Live Free quote as well, the way it was worded, the way it would talked about how you could interact with the system, and the fact that the mini splits were in the part of the building that the library themselves said was the problem part.
And truthfully, I
With
thought I thought it'd be more appealing to the library in terms of their talking about being environmentally friendly, more eco-smart. That system was the most complex in the sense that it allows that whole place. You could shut the heat to 55 in the back that nobody's using for the night and keep it at 72 on the front where there's somebody sitting at the desk. You can micromanage that system so much more to be more efficient, in my opinion. Not an HVAC guy, but in reading those proposals, I thought that was the best overall system for the building. So I think it's the second most expensive, but
Well, and we couldn't, and I talked to Ken about that this morning, could we get the on-bill financing for whatever percentage of it was, the heat pump? Because we couldn't get it on the furnaces. And can we, are we still available for whatever the $15,000, was it a grant?
That's what the library said, it was a grant.
Okay, grant, and then, we still have our 20,000 from the one cap reserve account that we could kick in, so, it would bring it down to 58 with our 20.
Hmm.
And if we still had the 15,000,
and what was the library willing to contribute?
do we have any sense what they were willing to contribute? There was the grant.
It was just a
So
grant.
just the grant, they're not
That was
contributing
all set.
anything?
Not to my knowledge, there's nobody
Okay.
here from the library tonight, so.
I mean, I just thought that was the most complete and in-depth proposal. I understand they liked revision. But ultimately it sits at our desk and we have to make the decision what's best for that building and what's best for the longevity of the heat source.
I'm doing math. Just so you know what I'm doing with my device. Okay, so if it's 78, 478, so if we do get the minus 15, minus 20.
Now, any mini splits though would have to go to the HDC.
So it brings it down to 43,000 live freeze, if indeed we can still get the $15,000 grant, and if we can still kick in $20,000.
And I think Calvin is correct, I think it would have to go to the HDC.
Because
So
the
we
two
would have to
outside units.
decide soon if we want this in by October 1, because that has to be heard in the next hearings in September, because it's canceled this month.
And they can't ever just have you couldn't get an emergency meeting if you needed one with the HCC? How does that work?
The chair of the HDC can review the application, and if he feels that a meeting is not needed, then he can give it the okay.
Okay,
Well,
well,
yeah,
that's good to
him and I
know.
would have to sign off on it,
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well,
I think this may be one of those cases though where time is important, so.
Did
Part
any
of
of them,
part of the bid request that I sent out was to have the job completed by October.
October
Right.
1st.
Right.
And there were, and I think, if you read the
Do you need to
bids,
see this?
there were, I don't know if it was Live Free and Rowell's both said if we want it done by October 1st, they need to know by August 26th or something like that. There's a deadline on
Yeah,
that.
we're getting
10
close.
I'm
days.
not sure.
Yeah. I would think if we could get to the chair of the HDC, do it that way, that would be.
I mean, is this something before we decide we need to sit down with Rachel and the trustees, or we just decide and move forward?
You guys,
Yeah, I mean,
We've only got a 10-day
I
window.
have to, and I feel I must,
Right.
I must comment, because I'm sorry that they were dismayed and disappointed that we asked for more information. But I would be the first to say that I think that's our job, to look at, it's a team effort. Rachel brought an excellent proposal that we wanted more information about. So, she was part one, the team took up part two and got more information. And I think that's how it works for us to most responsibly spend the town's money. We may end up spending a little bit more. I don't know, we can't say at this time, but I'm sorry that they were dismayed that we became part of the team to help figure out how to best spend the money for that building. And that's all I would say about that. I think together, we got a great amount of numbers that makes making the decision easier. Even if the decision we reach is not the one that they would like.
Mhm.
I think more information is always better, so that's all.
and this is a town building, and we're the responsible parties,
Well,
the town buildings.
and I'm going to have to defer a little bit more to the people in this room with better knowledge than I about how these heating systems work. But again, just looking at I found it was interesting that like Rouse wouldn't even consider mini splits.
Mhm.
But again,
It was tough to keep up with a poured slab floor on a brick building. Like those things work to keep that at a temperature. It's difficult to
Well,
be a
we've-
primary.
We've seen it here.
Yeah.
We have the cold nights when we're meeting here, we have to use supplemental heat.
And we had a pipe freeze.
I just like having the mixed heat source because if one goes down, you've got a backup. And I would just hate to see a building not have a backup, especially when the infrastructure is already there that we can update and make it more efficient and better for that building.
I agree. What action do we need to take tonight?
So I guess, I mean, I can try and, I can reach out to the library to see the details of that grant.
Yep.
See what it was for. I know we could get on-bill financing for the 14,287.
That would help. Yep.
It would always
We
help.
have we know we have 20,000 that you're gonna dedicate.
Yep.
So we'd have to come up with another 40,000.
Yep.
44,000. Which again, the attorneys have, and NHNA have both said that, yep, if
Yeah.
you need to spend the money, you can do it if you have it.
Yeah.
So it's a decision that's up to the board of selectmen.
So that wouldn't need to, that amount, the 40, whatever I said, 43 or 44,000, that we wouldn't have to wait. No, we couldn't wait anyway till town
Can't
meeting
wait.
for that.
It
We'd
It
have to
would
spend it.
have to be spent,
Yeah.
you'd have to appropriate that money now, or, you know.
And it looks like we can in the budget. Like,
Right.
it looks like it's available.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we just took out three $500,000 CDs.
Right.
And so we have money.
Yeah, there goes your interest you made this year.
Right.
Well,
Well,
but we have the
That's
interest to
absolutely- yeah.
use,
I mean,
that's the
and
point of
yeah, that's
it.
case in point. You know, you have the ability.
So,
I mean, you really don't wanna ever do this.
No.
But if you have to, you have to, and that's why we maintain a unreserved fund balance,
Right.
to address issues like this.
Right.
It's not covered by insurance, it's one of those things that things happen and the town has to be able to do that, so.
Right. So I guess next step wise, do we wanna call Kevin through HDC approval? And I guess I wanna make sure that the town is the responsible party for this
Mhm.
project,
Mhm.
so.
and, I mean, I suppose the other question is, does the library have the opportunity to say, no, we don't wanna do this? This is our quote, we stand behind it, and this is what we're gonna do.
No, not as far as I'm concerned. I know. This is a town building.
So they have to know by the 26th?
Yeah.
So we have a meeting next Monday?
Well, we have a meeting,
We
actually,
have a budget.
Okay,
meeting
never, it
next
just
Okay.
showed up
Monday.
yellow in my calendar. I'm like, why are we
We have a
meeting next?
budget meeting next Monday,
Budget,
I mean, is
Which
that
would
something
be
we
a
could vote
good
on?
item.
which would, yeah.
perfect time to bring it
Perfect
up.
time to talk about it.
Well,
But is that
timing
something we
being
could approve
everything.
then, so that way they'd still have time?
Absolutely,
That would give us a
absolutely.
week to get our ducks in a row and
Yeah,
then vote,
yeah.
okay.
Now, we're confident, again, not being the heating and cooling expert in the room, we're confident that that quote is good, that the way that they're approaching it is good, this company has,
yeah, I think that.
I don't know their reputation, I just know the church was using them and that I'm assuming,
Yeah, but I think that the reasoning is sound,
Mm.
that, you know, speaking in my own home, I would not be comfortable with just mini splits. I have a furnace, I have a boiler, like, we do have mini splits, but.
And a wood stove.
winter- And a wood stove, two wood stoves,
and several cats.
yeah,
Yeah, that's me too.
yeah.
So, yeah,
But I think that that is a very logically thought out, reasonable in New England in the winter. That you have a heat source that is kind of, it'll work no matter how cold it gets, and that's a furnace.
I also think it's a good compromise. You know, we're not just saying, hey, we're gonna go put a propane furnace in here.
Right.
We're making steps to be sound, to be, you know, cognitive of the system's function and efficiency and long-term investment. You know, I think it's not what they want, but I think it's a nice middle.
And the heat pump is a efficient unit.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, it is.
and I'm assuming that the gas
So
furnaces
they-
are more efficient than the ones that are in there
So the
now.
gas furnaces are the heat source, the heat pumps are the source for the air conditioning. Because the air conditioning units now that we have use a different
Coolant.
cooling, you can't reuse them in the new furnaces.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, the coolant's more expensive now and
Right,
of
more,
course.
more
Doesn't work as
environmentally
well.
sound.
yeah.
Anybody familiar?
That's why we went with the mini splits up at the fire station and the 2 bunk rooms. Because we would have had to change the ceiling units are already in place, but they were outdated. And we would have had to change the condensers in them, which would have been more than what the mini splits cost. So that's why we went with the mini splits up there. And again, that was for air conditioning, so that's why we did that.
So just looking under warranty, there doesn't seem to be a lot of information under live free.
It was a
Are we concerned
7-year
about that?
compressor.
Yeah,
My guess is, and again, my guess, most of the manufacturers, if you look at the other ones, they're 10-year manufacturer warranty. And then, like on Rowell's, they give a 20-year heat exchanger for the furnaces. And I'm guessing the Lennox is probably within the same time.
can we just get that information
I
from
can
them,
get that.
please?
Yep.
That'll just check off a couple of boxes in case anyone asks why, we had so much more information under this particular quote and not so much here. Thank you. I don't know why energy efficient investments didn't call you back though. It's kind of rude.
Because they probably just do huge
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
grocery
still,
stores,
nice to call
Walmarts.
back and that's kind of what I figured, but.
Now, is that on pace to be done by the time school's open? The school?
that was the plan.
All the stuff is gone.
Is it? I
The
don't
gates
drive-
are
I
all,
was
the
like, I
gates
never
are all
drive that
gone
way.
and the equipment's all gone, so I'm assuming
Yeah,
that they're all set.
live
Otherwise-
free was,
Yes.
the
live
one
free.
we're looking at.
Yes.
I'm just looking at the proposal
Um,
right now.
And just,
Do you want a hard copy, Scott?
No, I've got, I'm just looking for the, warranty info.
Yeah, that was,
and just, I guess the other question is I don't know these companies, so how long has Live Free been around?
About 8 or 9 years. When they started as just HVAC heating and cooling, and now they've got electricians. They got pretty big.
Oh, so I'm assuming that their cost also includes the electrical.
Yes, yes, I would assume that as well.
They just, it looks like, they just don't mention their warranty, so that is a good thing to check on.
yeah, they only list the warranty on the outdoor unit.
Yep.
The cold climate heat pump.
Yeah,
And I guess finally, when it says uses existing ductwork, I know I had to laugh when Live Free said, yeah, it's
oh, there
great.
we go, warranty, 7-year limited compressor
Right.
warranty,
5-year limited
parts
parts.
warranty.
Yeah. That's why it was 7-year.
Yeah.
But that was just on that
On the
was
mini splits.
on the Lennox gas furnaces, they don't list anything on the warranty,
Right,
so.
okay, well, it's worth checking, I agree with that.
So with using the existing ductwork, there was a little bit of work that needed to go into them to make them the best they could be in this situation. And I'm assuming that's included in this?
That's what
I
it's-
did not meet with the people from Live Free, so I'm not sure, I'd have to ask. I know Raoul said that they only saw a few things that they would have to change. And Bumblebee said the same thing. So 2 of them said they only had to change a few things. My guess is that Live Free would probably be it.
Is a few things $1,000 or a few things like $5,000?
No, it says down here, it has it all laid out in the description. Plus, it's an 18 SEER unit, so
Oh,
it's more
in their,
efficient
in
than the other
their
units.
official.
Yeah, in the-
quote.
in the-
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't
And
look
I
at that.
think one of the issues that they identified, that Raoul's had identified, was that, or Bumblebee, I can't remember which one, that 4 of the diffusers weren't hooked to anything,
Mhm.
so the heat was just going up through into the attic, so they were just gonna put caps on them.
Oh,
Which
okay.
was no expense.
Oh, all right, I didn't have a chance, I didn't look through their actual proposal, that makes everything a lot more clear.
It says warranty, 7-year limited compressor, 5-year
Yeah.
parts. Yeah, built-in Wi-Fi connectors, and SmartThing app for remote temperature controlling, scheduling. Um, They got a 5-year warranty on the indoor coil. 10-year limited warranty on the furnace. Lifetime heat exchanger, 20 years.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
yeah, it's
It
all in
does have
the,
it there.
yeah, it's all in the
Okay.
fine print.
Alright,
Very
Where
good.
did you find that, Calvin?
If you scroll each section, they break it down to the performance, and then it'll have the warranty, like
Oh,
right
okay.
above it, warranty for the.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
see
yeah.
it, yeah, okay.
oh yeah.
Yep, there it is,
Lifetime
5
on the heat
years
exchanger,
on all
20-year
covered components.
transferable, yep, okay, yep. So that's, yeah, 10-year warranty on the compressor.
Well, that answers
Yeah.
those questions.
Yep.
10-year limited warranty
Great,
on
thank
all other covered components.
Yep.
Lifetime heat exchanger limited warranty. How do you have a lifetime limited?
Because you can't exceed 20 years. At that point, they want you to have a
20
new furnace.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
but that's good to know that there it is, it's on page 5 of 7.
Right. So I think the only question probably that we need to have answered is to just make sure that whatever needs to be done to the duct work, they'll do. As part of
Included,
the, right, as part of the job.
and HDC, and,
Yeah, he's, right.
yeah,
got
and,
that. Yeah. All right, anything further on that?
I don't think so.
Okay, Ken?
Okay.
All right. All right, let's move on, next item, tree on Laurel Road. That's
Yeah,
the one that you,
so
yeah.
that was the one we got the request from the occupant, a resident, to have town take the tree down. It's a dead oak tree, really big, hang out over the front lawn, big dead limbs. I got 2 bids, one for $2,500 and one for $3,000. The homeowner does not want the wood because it's too big.
okay,
I mean, the
yeah.
trunk
to
is-
handle,
The trunk is probably 3 feet anyway.
yeah,
So that would be removing all the wood. I talked to the resident, he is only willing to kick in $500.
And what was the total of, again,
25 was the low bid, 3,000 was the high bid. He is still concerned that it's a liability issue for the town, if something comes down. And I guess, as I mentioned when we discussed this last time, the question NHMA with the hard road travel, it talks about if you've been informed of a liability, you could be responsible, and that's what says you could be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
yeah, it's a gamble, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think $2,500 or $3,000 is a lot cheaper than dealing with an insurance claim.
Yeah,
yes,
that's the thing. Who's our low?
Brian Magoon is the low bid.
Okay. Certainly, as Calvin, I think correctly said, it's a lot cheaper to deal with it now than potentially later on, so.
And he would take everything out. He'd truck everything out, chip it, and get rid of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd feel better if the resident was willing to split it with us 50-50,
I
but,
know, but
um,
I believe he's a retiree who,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make it a motion that we accept Brian's.
Okay.
and move forward, taking the $500 from the homeowner.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Tree night, trees on Old Schoolhouse Road.
Yes, I sent you pictures of the trees.
Big
at the
honking trees.
schoolhouse.
Yeah.
I don't see any issue. I visited the site.
Yeah,
I think if they're willing to take it down, then we should take it
That-
down.
makes sense to me as well. You know,
Yeah.
Once again, I think, before they become an issue,
And if they're willing to do it, that's great.
exactly,
And they're huge.
yes, they are.
Probably dead in the middle too. Those big old pines.
Yeah, I've got a couple that are, one's gonna fall on my, power,
Entrance.
yeah, well, it'll fall on the primaries
Oh,
coming in. We had the power company come out, and they won't do anything, cause it's
Really?
too far away.
You should bring this up to the select board,
Yeah,
I think.
I won't, because I'm a selectman,
I know, I'm only
but I will
kidding.
mention it.
So the trees on Old Schoolhouse Road, just refresh my memory, are they on their property?
they're in the right of way. It's a class 6 road and they're in the right of way.
So what happens if they go to take them down and they hurt themselves?
They're
We got a
hiring a
feller buncher,
company.
yeah.
So that's, at that
Yeah,
point,
they have
it's
insurance.
there.
The company
Okay.
is,
Just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hope that I would, I don't want anything to have happen, but I just would rather know ahead of time.
I think for the most part, we're prohibited by RSA from doing work on a class 6
Yeah.
road except under, there's very few circumstances where.
Right,
Right.
so, okay.
All right, anything further on Old Schoolhouse, otherwise
No.
we'll just, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, next is schedule updates.
yep, and this is just a reminder for the budget committee meeting next
Yep.
week
Yep,
and the school board meeting on the 22nd
got that,
and the all boards meeting on the 15th.
So the 22nd, obviously, we have planning board. I will talk to Brendan prior, and if we don't have a hearing, I'd rather go to the school board meeting,
okay,
if that's
yeah,
acceptable with you guys.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, September 22nd.
Also, there's planning board
and
same
let's
night.
see.
Yeah, but I don't know if we have a hearing or not.
Budget meeting is here,
Correct.
first budget meeting.
Correct.
Uh,
That's at 6.
yep, got it, 6 p.m. And then the.
Budget 6 p.m. here.
Right. And what was the next one after that?
All
That's it, all
Boards.
boards.
at 9:15.
Yep, on the 15th, got that.
7 to 8.
And as long as we're talking schedule, and then the 22nd
Is the
is the school board.
Mhm. That's in Belmont,
Yep, and then the select board meetings for September
yes.
are the
Ooh.
1st
And the 21st.
and the 21st.
Yes,
Both at 5 p.m., correct?
both at 5.
Okay.
Yes.
There's an awful lot of sighing coming from, there's like, the mini split is sighing over there.
But now I'm just realizing that like pretty soon it's gonna be dark for these meetings.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yes,
be
it
coming in,
is.
it's pitch black.
Yes.
Yeah, alright, so I think that's. Well, from now to almost the end of September, so,
Mhm.
alright.
Now, have we heard anything about House Bill 1300? Like, have we brought that up potentially with, in terms of the budget committee, with the impact that could have?
Well, certainly, I think we should.
Like, do we have any literature for that we could bring to the budget meeting? Like, have we gotten anything from NHMA? It is on the ballot, and I believe it would go into effect this coming fiscal year.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, they've sent out the legislative updates, and
Okay.
that's pretty much all they've sent out.
Right,
And there's no.
Just because if there does end up being a cap,
Mhm.
A, it would help us, I don't want to say plan better, but we could have a better understanding of
Mhm.
where things could go.
Mhm.
Right, but so as I understand it though, because HB 1300 was signed into law by the governor.
But the,
July 15th,
but the towns have to approve it on the ballot.
correct,
And because
So
it's a
that-
joint district,
Right.
it would need I guess, a super majority vote over both towns is my understanding, same as the withdrawal a couple
you're
years ago.
correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, 3/5, 60% supermajority local voter approval,
Right.
so,
So that would be both towns counted, not just super majority
Correct.
Canterbury versus Belmont.
yep, that is
So
absolutely
we
right.
might have to consider
So we won't know
the
that
reality of
until,
it
Yeah.
till November.
Yeah.
And how that'll plan into next year's budgeting. Cause I believe that goes in effect January, it comes in the spring. I don't remember the exact date, but that would roll right in for budget.
I'm not sure.
It certainly would,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of late in the budgeting process, not late, but it's later.
yeah,
So that would have an impact on the upcoming budget.
okay, well, let's
I
talk
think
Yeah.
about it.
I think it's something that we can bring up at the budget committee
Yeah.
next week,
Yeah,
but
can't do anything about it.
We'll
No.
plan on. I think we try to meet with them in December anyway,
Mhm.
after we get the department heads' budgets, and we have a pretty good idea of what's coming up for warrant articles, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 85% to 95% done the budget at that time.
Yeah.
So that would give us a better handle on whether it got voted in in November or not.
Yeah.
And we'd have a pretty good idea of how it might potentially affect our town budget.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But, yeah, certainly worth discussion. All right, municipal building roof,
yeah, so I got a hold of one company. I'm meeting them Friday at 3 o'clock up there.
okay,
They're gonna look at the roof
Yeah.
and take a walk around.
okay,
It's a starting point.
yep,
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get too many people, been busy with other stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's more of a starting point than we've had.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just, jumping ahead to, committee reports, it's come up at both, community power and energy about the roof and possible solar, and all I've said about it is we're starting to look. So let's figure out the roof first before we figure out what we can put on it.
September.
town hall roof,
Yeah, so I talked to, Peter Gladys, who's done some work for us around some of the buildings. For about the peak cap.
that,
Um,
yeah, I think I called you about that.
Yeah,
Originally,
so, if he installs, if it's the entire peak to remove the cap, install, a new one all the way across the top on both sides to cover the old nail holes, then install a new cap and use the vent, it's $2,100. If we wanna install a new ridge vent, it's $2,850.
Put the new one in. I'd go with new.
I'm
I wouldn't mess with a roof.
For
and
another
reuse.
$700, I can't see not putting a new
Right,
ridge vent on if you're gonna, cause when you start pulling it off, it's full of holes,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
might pull it off, and who knows if
who
it's,
knows?
if the
what
caps
you're
have,
gonna do,
if the caps have deteriorated where they're falling apart, depending on what kind of ridge vent that is,
Mhm.
depends on, it might
Yeah.
be deteriorated too.
Yeah, and that all started, a resident pointing it out to me,
During
Yeah,
voting.
and voting
Voting,
last
yeah.
year, yeah.
yeah, and,
And my, I'm gonna beat the drum again, is while he's there doing the ridge vent to look at the
Yes.
busted,
Mm.
the busted pillar upright at the bottom of the ramp.
that's right, I forgot about that. Okay,
How was that roof? That was part of the, whole, center rehab, so that's
Mhm.
2004.
Same age as this roof,
Yeah.
and this roof is doing the same thing.
interesting,
The caps of both the roofs are deteriorating.
Do we need to have him while he's here doing
I
caps,
figured I'd
look
have
at
him
this
take a
one?
look at this one.
that's a good idea.
Well, should he look at it now, so that when he comes to do that one, he could do them both?
This one is not in as bad shape as that one is.
Okay.
Probably go another year.
Alright,
We have to,
stretch it out.
if we're gonna be spending $64,000 on a heating system, we might wanna say, well, we can go another year.
All right, Next is select board representative reports.
Yes.
So I guess I'll start.
Go for it.
The Tricentennial Committee, continues to work
Amaze.
along. Yep, right, as I'm sure everyone is aware, they have been working on what looks like a blockbuster video production. There was, well, did you make it? Yeah, Edgar.
Go Edgar.
Obviously, Edgar, if you have anything to add, speak up, please. But I know, this past weekend, they were here in the cemetery and did a, gosh, Edgar, 50-ish people?
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, so it was a large.
At least for the 1911 lawn party.
Exactly, so I think it's gonna be an amazing product when it's done, and you know, they put a lot of time and effort into it, so it's good to see. Budget work continues for 2027 for the tricentennial itself. So, I just passed on an estimate for a potential fireworks display on the 29th of May. And we'll be speaking with them, I'm sure as part of the budgeting process. So they were all asked to submit their budgets for September. So we should have that.
So they're, at some point, I'm assuming, in the budget, they're gonna come forward and ask for the town for money.
Well,
By town meeting in,
correct, by town meeting.
Yeah.
At least I think that's how we have to do it, so.
I would hope that they give it to us in November.
Right,
yes,
Yeah.
that's.
well, they were actually asked to give it to us in September.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, but you know, and obviously, you know, there'll be a list of what it's for, how much each thing costs, and you know, we'll have obviously.
yeah,
further discussion.
Heidi's been soliciting numbers
Yes,
vigorously.
they certainly, they've been busy, very busy, so it's been great to see and be a part of, so.
Yeah, and they've got tons, you know, everything else that they're still doing as
Yeah,
far as
yes, they do,
selling merch and,
Yep.
and
exactly,
events.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all I have.
Yay. I do not have anything from Conservation Commission because they canceled their meeting this month because everybody was doing other things. So yay,
Hiking and
hiking and
Recreating, I
and
hope, and-
recreating, but they're always, they've always got a full agenda and they'll
Yeah.
keep right back to it.
Yeah.
If anybody's noticed, I still wanna call it Hildreth Field, but the Robert S. Fife Conservation Area Field has been vigorously and closely mowed.
Looks great.
And they're working on their new, there's a meeting coming up shortly with to talk about the plan for the field. Can't remember when that's coming up. Because they may have to change how they actually do the mowing to keep down the invasives. They were doing a half-year
Yep, I
mowing
remember,
plan,
yeah.
trying to keep it as a successional field, but the bittersweet in there was 6 feet tall. It's just not doable anymore. So they're going to be talking with a group about that. And then next meeting, we're going to have the Concord Conservation Commission come and talk about whatever joint product events or projects they may have. So that's it for them. Energy Committee, let me find the agenda to refresh my memory. They do have two workshops coming up, one in October and one in November, one on energy saving tips and one on battery storage. They do have Jeremy Whaley went through the sample audit that or the proposed audit that they have. He says it looks pretty robust. It includes the cost of what they're presenting and also includes the payback time. So Jeremy is going to follow up with you, Ken,
This is for the municipal building.
for the municipal building energy audit. Yeah, he went through it. He says it looks pretty good. And that part of the cost of the audit is the ability to go and ask questions about anything that they have proposed. But he said in his word, it's a robust audit that, process that would include payback time. So that would be good. Cost database of all contractors, and they zeroed in on this region, so that's what they're basing their costs on. So if they specify a particular type of fan, they can include a pretty good guesstimate of what it'll cost, which I don't think the last one included. They had one new member that came to the meeting that was interested, so that would be good for them. Window dressers is chugging along. They are going to be reaching out to the planning board to talk about solar friendly zoning. They haven't connected yet, but that's still coming up. They're still going to, the C-Pacer bill did pass. They're still trying to figure out, there are 3 towns that are doing it, but what they want to know is how many other towns like Canterbury are considering doing it. And what what that conversation is, so they'll get back to us about that. And again, the subcommittee for current town solar installation maintenance, they did reach out to, or somebody on CPC, Community Power reached out to Jim Snyder. He's not really interested in being part of that subcommittee. At the moment, it's Fred Portnoy. So
Okay.
we're going to say, I think there might be 2 people on the energy committee that have the expertise and the interest to move that along, but definitely forming a subcommittee to make sure that those, the installations that we already have are well maintained and we have a plan going forward.
Panels at the municipal building were adjusted,
Really?
yes.
Yay,
Herbie?
okay.
Yeah.
I told him I wanted to help.
And he's planning on coming down here to do these.
Okay.
Hopefully this week.
Okay, that's great. And I think actually Herb did mention that he would be interested in helping coming up with this whole maintenance plan. I just realized that he's usually flat out with,
Yes, he is.
and so, but that's definitely on their radar to figure out how to come up with that subcommittee.
Good.
And then they're talking to Concord. Concord is currently doing a Weatherize Concord program, which is kind of like our Solarize Canterbury program. So they're going to follow up with them to just see what that means. And can we do that in Canterbury to help everybody be more energy efficient? And that's in addition to, their workshops. So they're going to be, they've got a new member and they seem to be really energized.
Good.
From what they were a
Yeah.
year ago, so that's good. And CP Community Power, again, they have a new member, and we did talk about they would really like to see. I think they would really like to see municipal solar be able to take care of all the town's electric needs, but that it's not their purview, if they kicked it back to the energy committee. It seems more like what the energy committee should be doing. And they really both want to have more of a connection between community power and the energy committee to get things like that done.
Yeah.
And then we are still going through the process of figuring out how to sell RECs. So we talked to Paul Button and we got a whole bunch of paperwork and we're all gonna look through it and somehow communicate to the town in general and especially the people who were part of the Solarize Canterbury, how they can sell their RECs.
Yeah.
But that's coming up. I forget anything?
I wasn't there.
Oh, that's right, you were. Forget it. And I think that's pretty much it. The community power again with Tim, me now as chair. It seems to be, picking up steam again and has got new energy. So I think
Very good.
that's it for me.
All right. Calvin?
I'll keep this one pretty simple. Ag did not meet. We meet tomorrow. Since
Okay.
the last meeting, it'll be the first one.
Yeah.
Rec committee's in full swing for soccer. They're getting all their registrations now, and that'll kick off when school starts.
Yeah.
And then they'll pivot to Halloween.
Yeah.
I have not heard anything regarding the trust fund, the use of the funds for the trust fund. So there's that.
They've got money that people are trying very hard to give them.
Yes.
And I realize
I
there are
think-
some concerns about what happens if they actually take the
And I
money.
think part of it too is determining what they need to spend the money on. They don't necessarily need something.
Correct.
If that makes sense, there's no big ticket item
It
right
does
now
make
that they're
sense.
sitting there
Yeah.
going, "Ooh, we need this."
Yeah.
So they're trying to best find the way to best allocate those funds, and it might just not, they may or may not use them this year unless they can come up with
Do they
something.
have a, do they have a?
Budget?
So if the, no, yeah, not a budget, so if the money is given to them and they don't need to spend it right away, where does it live? Just in our, on a line item in the,
Trust fund, I would assume.
well, because some of the trusts have us, that you like, you were supposed to give. them.
Right.
You're
I,
not
th- I
just
think
supposed to
I think
keep
the
it in
hard part
trust.
is like in a lot of these, take for instance the school, right? You have the rec committee's in charge of soccer, but who owns the nets? Who maintains the shed? There was 2 lacrosse schools, $1,000 game nets that sat up there for 3 years outside and nobody wanted to own them. So there's a lot of, does the school own it? Does the rec committee own it? It's that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily want to go out and replace something that you don't have to take ownership of if it falls in somebody else's budget. So I think right now they're trying to figure out how it could best help Halloween, and if they need anything right now to
Well, and
support
also,
Halloween.
the soccer and Halloween are not the only 2 places it could be spent. The provisions of the trust are read for like Canterbury, general youth activities or town activities.
Maybe they can pay somebody to go maintain the baseball field since the school district won't. So
Maybe.
we could actually play
I mean,
baseball
they
on it.
might need to get a little bit more creative about how, where they want
Yeah,
to
so
spend
I
it
mean, they're,
and look
they're
closer
just
at
trying to
the
figure
trust.
out what's the best way
Alright.
to use it that's the most meaningful.
And when does
Um,
soccer start?
First, when school gets back, September like 9th or 10th-ish.
Good.
Because they start school in 2 weeks and it usually starts right after Labor Day.
That seems like such a happy program. The kids are like so fired up.
My kids don't play soccer.
Well, so your kids are
It looks
happy
it
about
looks
it.
happy from a distance.
Yeah, okay.
HDC, we had a hearing, and I don't remember if I updated you on it. They approved the steps at the church. Had a discussion about the walkway upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the following meeting was for a radon mitigation system, which was approved. Pretty
Mm.
short. We canceled our meeting this week because there's nothing on the agenda.
Yeah.
Planning board, we had kind of a back-to-back gauntlet. Prior meeting, after our last meeting, they approved, or we approved the Aberton subdivision, which is now 3 lots, a couple lot line adjustments. And then the subsequent hearing, we had a developer come in with a pre-conceptual for one of the lots.
Ooh.
The developer proposed 13 lots, 4 of which not being able to be used now because they're in the ag zoning, and per our zoning restrictions, you can't subdivide
13?
ag. It was 13, 9 right now, and 4 more lots in 5 years when they can subdivide again.
On that one piece of property?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't look, I
Yeah.
didn't see that from the map.
I have
Okay.
a copy of the map I can bring.
No,
in
I've
if
got
they
it,
don't have
I've got one here too.
That was a very pre-conceptual. They don't even own the property yet. Nothing's under contract. I mean, the developer wasn't even aware it was on a dirt road. So take it for what it is. But that's already, it only took a week for.
Yeah.
So the planning board is also, we're waiting on a draft of the cluster subdivision
Yep.
rewrite,
Yep.
and also looking into other potential warrants, including wetlands, more discussion about wetlands and updating what the Conservation Commission reached out to correct, as well as, looking at the dimensions, and that impact it could have on development. But overall, it's getting ready for warrant article season, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
When does who's the developer for Aberton?
It was, I wrote
I
it
never
down.
didn't catch his
It
name.
is Silver Creek Development.
Silver
It was
Creek.
13 lots. The issue that they're kind of having is 50% of it's rural versus ag.
Yep.
And trying to figure out how the subdivision rules work, and sort of does the age-old question of the predominant zone, does that govern the entire lot? So it's a little tricky. I don't think it's going to be hammered out right away, but again, I call it like a pre-conceptual.
When were they due to come back? Do you
He
remember?
didn't say.
He didn't say, okay.
I think the board, we were kind of a skeleton crew that night.
They wanted to wait till Brendan got back for sure.
Right.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah.
And then there's they bandied about a little bit, maybe instead of doing 13 house lots to do a cluster.
Yeah, but again, it depends on
A
how
lot.
you would deem the lot. Is it, if it's rural, if you take the governing percentage, it would be a rural lot, meaning it's eligible for a cluster subdivision.
Mhm.
But only that portion, the entire lot, how does that interact with conservation? It's just, there's a lot of what
A lot
ifs
of moving
regarding,
pieces on that one.
how to, I guess, break down that lot.
Yeah.
Whereas the way that the developer proposed it was 9 lots, a new 2,500-foot road, and then he would subdivide the agricultural, so the last 4 lots on the cul-de-sac 5 years from now and put it in.
Yeah.
But I mean, they haven't, there's no Canterbury, like there's nothing that
They
has
didn't
been
even
done.
know about the Canterbury rectangle,
And
did they?
there was no wetlands on it. I mean, that's gonna be a pretty tricky piece, I think, with a lot of finagling to get what they want out of it.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
I mean, it'll be curious, but yeah, so Abertons is all approved to go, and that was really the big one. And then again, starting all the new warrant articles for the year.
Okay.
Well, that sort of leads to a discussion item that I wanted us to at least have a quick discussion about, which was the NHMA Class 6 road presentation. Ken mailed you guys a link.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got to watch
I
it.
went to it.
Oh,
I
good.
watched it that day,
So you
yeah.
watched it that day. Very well done. It's about an hour, a
Yeah.
little over an
Oh,
hour, about an
definitely
hour
watch
and
it.
10 minutes.
I will.
Yeah.
Again.
No, I have to, because I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
just I haven't had an hour to sit down and digest
Yeah,
it.
the changes are definitely worth discussion, and there are, I think, some things that we should definitely discuss with regard to zoning, proposed changes in our zoning.
Well, I also think that you should recommend, if you have any say, that the whole planning board should watch this thing, because there was a lot in there
Very
about.
interesting. They
Yeah,
did
because
a
I know
great
there was,
job.
we
Yeah.
were operating under certain assumptions, I guess, as to how the rules affected. And then now that I guess we know
Correct.
how they're affected, now we can take it
Now
back
we
and
can take
Yeah.
address
action.
it.
Yeah,
And I don't know if that's something we can just meet as a board, or do you want to come into the planning board?
well,
Or we can
or
reach
we
out to
have,
Brendan?
Well, you sent it to Brendan already, right?
Yeah, he's on
I-
vacation.
Forwarded that, we're gonna, hopefully get the planning board meeting members to watch it.
yeah,
I think at this point, I talked with Joel, I think after watching it, I think one of the priority items would be the change of the law as class 6 roads, build, as far as building them. We have had in place for several years, the road maintenance and upgrade agreement,
Mm-hmm.
which, is not enforceable anymore.
Right.
So I think unless we make it part of our zoning. So I think that should be, to me, that should be, if the planning board only comes up with one zoning amendment, we should do that.
yeah,
We've seen that there's pressure for subdivisions and building lots, and we have lots of land on class 6 roads. And as it stands now, you have to allow them to build as long as they sign the waiver
right.
and they can get insurance on the building.
So do you have to have proof of insurance before you can break ground?
Correct. Before we issue the building permit, you have to have proof of insurance.
That's
But-
almost.
I know,
That's-
Yeah, it's like,
But-
what are you insuring if
I
it's
don't
not built
know, I
yet?
mean, it depends. So I think that, but that road maintenance and upgrade agreement, we have used that in the past to force people to fix their roads.
Yeah.
And we just bought an $880,000 fire engine.
Right.
And you know that if somebody calls for a fire and the road is what I would consider impassable, they're still gonna try and get there.
Right.
And the question was posed at this class,
Hmm.
that if there's damage to town equipment trying to get there, that is not, you can't go after the occupant for that.
So then,
Watch the thing.
I just mean devil's advocate, why would the town then try to even respond to class 6 houses? If you roll
You
the risk
don't
of,
have to.
The thing is, you don't have to, but
But-
tell that to
Right,
yeah, no, exactly.
that's the thing.
firefighters,
Yeah.
police, ambulance attendants, when
Or the
someone's-
people whose house is burning down. I mean, it's
someone's
just,
life may be on the line, they're gonna do what they
Right.
hope to be the best outcome.
Yeah.
I will speak from personal experience. In Maine, the town that my older brother lived in had a zoning ordinance that said if your driveway wasn't shoveled or plowed, that the fire department didn't have to come in. And my brother's house burned down.
did it
They
really?
had 4-wheel drive pickup trucks. There was 3 guys living in a house. it was a long driveway, they would drive in and out with the pickup trucks, so there was ruts.
Hmm.
And the fire truck got there and said, nope, we're not going in, and the house burned down.
Hmm.
So, now,
And how did your
That's-
brother feel about that?
Mhm.
well, I know my father wasn't there. There are places in this country that have fire departments that are still, I guess for want of a better term, subscription services, where one town covers another.
Mhm.
And if that town doesn't pay the subscription service, the fire trucks stop at the town line.
Jeez.
And that's, as speaking from my life experience, that would be pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this might be another good thing to bring up at the all boards meeting, put it on the agenda
yeah, I
that
would think
this
so. Yeah.
one, that this is a concern to everybody there should really watch this
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing because they made excellent points.
Well,
And,
I think
It's gonna
that
have to be taken care of.
we should be very specific in what we propose. And
Yes.
maybe, we can agree on it before
Mm.
The all boards meeting and then just have something concrete that we can give them. But, you
That's a
know,
good idea.
Yeah, because otherwise, I don't think this is something we should let languish.
No, I don't think so either. I
Do we
think
need a
it's-
work session before all boards?
I can send out something
It's a
and-
great idea.
Alright,
and have you respond back individually to me
Yeah,
with edits
Yeah.
if needed.
okay.
yeah. But as I said, this, it's an hour and 10 minutes if I remember. But
Yes.
it's-
It was well worth it and
goes
it
really
didn't,
quick, they did a great job. And I thought that the questions that they addressed were very good questions.
Mhm.
So they really, it was an hour, a little over an hour.
well, the new woman legal counsel that they have, I thought spoke very well,
Yeah.
very clearly, and then would stop and pause and say like, okay, and then define and then
Yeah.
proceed,
Yeah.
and I think
I
that
agree.
she's a real good addition to the team.
Yes, she is. Yeah. All right, moving on, looks like non-public session actually, let me stop before I go on to that. Does anybody have anything else publicly? that they
Yes.
wish- Okay,
I'm just curious where we're standing with we're just waiting for the letter to come from the zoning board about the store. We haven't heard anything or,
I spoke to the ZBA chair today. He was reviewing, they had drafted a letter, sent it to the attorney sent it back. And the ZBA chair was responding to it and was going to send it out. Was gonna send that to Cal, and Cal was gonna send it out to the ZBA members for approval for edits.
so by the end of the week, perhaps the LLC might know. Okay.
I
I'm
don't have any control over the ZBA.
I'm assuming they know that it would be nice to have this taken care of in a timely manner, because everybody's kind of like, what's going
Do we
on?
even know the outcome of what the letter is? Has it been established?
No,
Okay.
No, this is, it's attorney-client privilege with the ZBA until it becomes a public.
Okay.
okay,
It's like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about
Yeah.
at the same time.
that was my last question.
okay. Calvin, anything?
It'll come to me later.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Ken? Anything public? Okay, I'll make a motion then that we adjourn into a non-public session for, thank you, purposes under RSA 91-A:32C. Thank you. And Edgar, thank you.
All right,
Need a
thank you,
second?
Edgar.
Oh, I need
Oh,
a second.
Yeah, I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you for reminding me.